Hello, everybody, and welcome to another stream. Woo! Exciting. How's everybody doing today? I see some familiar faces in the chat. Hey, Della Hayes. Hey, BG. Hey, Camel. How's it going, man? El Wolf, Hazmat, Sad Boy. How you guys doing? Hey, Dark. Hey, Shroom. Hey, there's Okie Native. Haven't seen you in a while, man. How you doing? What is Jack feeding the cat? I fed him some, what is it? Ocean fish and tuna? Friskies, I think it is. Hey, Angela. Doing good. All right. Awesome. That was much longer than 3 minutes. Look, the cat needed some love. Okay. He was like, "You're going to pet me." And I was like, "Okay." Sorry. He takes precedent because otherwise he sits out there and meows insanely for like 2 hours. I'm dead serious. He will do that for 2 hours. Hey, Cannibal. Show starts when I start the button. Saw you yesterday and the 2 days before that. And last week when you did the 3-hour stream. Yeah, but it's been like 2 days. I haven't seen you. Oh, yesterday. Yeah, but that was yesterday. This is today. It's been like a full day, dude. Hey, Nico. That's on the cat's timeline. Yeah, I have to work around the cat's timeline because if I don't get him to shut up, I can't record anything. Hey, nobody. How you doing? Yeah, I was trying to record a video earlier and he was sitting out there meowing and that was coming through on the recording. So while I'm talking, if you listen to the playback, he's like, every third word is a meow, like subtly overdoing my comments, and it re-recorded after I fed him. Hey, Potato, how you doing, man? All right, so a lot happened since I streamed last. Yesterday, like a fox. Yeah, you're sneaky, dude. You're a little ninja. A lot's been happening since we streamed last. I didn't stream on Wednesday for a reason that we'll get to. It's related to one of the articles. And we'll get to that early on in the stream here. But first, I wanted to start out with some crowdfunders that I thought looked cool. And then we'll talk about all the celebrities that died and stuff. Hey, Richard. Who else here? Pussy whipped. Well, I just feed him when because he mostly just wants treats. I do it because I need him to shut up so I can record. And it'll annoy my sensibilities while I'm recording to have that in the audio for the video files. People forget people are cats' pets instead of them being ours. Yeah, that's a fact. He's got me. He's getting fat too. I gotta kind of cut back on his treats. That's why I gotta start feeding him during the daytime, so that when he's sitting there meowing, I'm asleep. Just assumed he didn't stream Wednesday for the best reason. Didn't feel like it. No, I had actual reason. That's why there's so many news articles today. It's because of something going on at Diamond, which we'll talk about. And I didn't want to do like a 30-minute stream. That seems kind of pointless. But let's look at these crowdfunders first, because I think these are cool. First one is Blood Realm, Wrath of Kings. Now, I've reviewed some of the Blood Realm books. They're published by Alterna. And I actually like them. The art is this kind of weird woodcut look to them. And I think it's pretty cool. So he's doing this new mini-series. I think it's a 3-parter. He's already up to 10 grand out of his 5 grand goal. Only 18 days left. And I think there's 3 volumes. But yeah, the digital editions of the 3 books is only $5. And the physical copy is $15. So you get the 3 issues plus a variant of issue 9. This perk will get you the new Blood Realm storyline and the exclusive Blood Realm number 9 variant. All comics are signed by the creator. You also get any stretch goals and bonuses that are unlocked. Now, they've already unlocked one stretch goal, which is a digital soundtrack. But if it gets up to 12 grand, which is pretty likely, I think, you'll get additional Blood Realm story. And at 15 grand, they'll double size all 4 issues with guest gallery pages and additional story pages. So I like the story. It's pretty interesting. It's very dark. But like I said, I've reviewed at least the first story arc, maybe the second one. I don't remember. But I've got them all sitting here. I don't have this storyline because it's the new one. He also did this book, Wirehead. That looked kind of neat, but I'm not that interested in that one right now. But it's a pretty gory, messy book, and I really liked Volume 1. I thought it was really fun. So if it's looks like something you might be interested in, check it out. I think the guy's a pretty talented artist. It's not an art style for everyone, granted, but it definitely has this sort of like indie art mixed with old woodcuts look. And I like this cover because it's a throwback to the old Marvel stuff. So he's got prints and some other stuff. You could buy like pages from him, sketch commissions, original artwork, that sort of thing. But for $15, probably a couple bucks shipping, $25, I would assume, for it. Comics really isn't that bad, sadly. But it's an indie artist, and he works over at Alterna. This is creator-owned stuff, of course. So I'll drop that link if you guys are interested. And then the other one I thought looked really cool was Malone Gridlock. Now they tried to do this one once before, and it didn't go very far. This is by Top Secret Press. They do like Sword of Justice, which I've reviewed, and a couple other books. They're very, very indie. But I did like the Sword of Justice stuff. And I think it's Seventh Sister I read, but I haven't posted those reviews yet. They've got a lot of potential over at Top Secret, but not a lot of people have heard of them. And this one is only on Kickstarter. So they tried Indiegogo previously and it didn't really work out. But this one looked fun. It's like a Shaft kind of book. They're not even quite halfway to the goal with only 23 days left. But the book is pretty cheap. I think it's like $8. The PDF's $5. Then there's a variant cover for $6. And third variant for $7. Physical copies $8, and you get the PDF. And I think shipping is included, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's only $8. So if you add something on, they charge you like $1 or $2 shipping. So I've not gotten any of these late yet from Top Secret. They're very small time. They have an Etsy store too, but they have all kinds of cool variant stuff. He's got a very Shaft look to him. So yeah, I think this looks really fun. Let's get down to some of the art. I don't know who any of these people are. He's jumping through a skylight with two M16s in his hand. So they're celebrating their 10th year anniversary, and they're trying to get this one going. I think it looks kind of cool. It's got a lot of potential. So if you're looking for some fun books that aren't from the big two, I would actually say give this a shot. It's only $8. Like I said, I haven't had a problem with them before. Hey, Bubba Hotep, how you doing? Hey, Raymond. Hey, Useless. So yeah, if you're looking for Kickstarters that actually deliver, like I said, I haven't had a problem with these guys. I'll probably back this one, or have one of my friends do it so they don't get my address. But yeah, it's looks pretty fun. So I thought I'd start with those. All right, let's get into some of the death stuff. Get those out of the way because they're depressing. From radio.com. Moody Blues drummer Graham Edge dies at 80. He died at age 80 with the cause of death not being revealed. Edge passing has been confirmed by his family and made public by the band's John Lodge, whatever. Sadly, Graham left us today, tweeted Lodge. To me, he was the white eagle of the North with his beautiful poetry, his friendship, his love of life, and his unique style of drumming that was the engine room for the Moody Blues. Cut your hair, hippie. Edge played drums for the movie Moody Blues album through their final project in 2003. So a bit of a downer on that front. Hey Andrew, how you doing? How's Sheffield doing today? Hope everything's going well over there. Also in bummer news, the UB40 founding member Astro dies following short illness. Now, when I was younger, that song Red Red Wine was the bane of my existence because they played it all the damn time. And that video was seemingly on a loop at VH1 for probably 4 times an hour. British vocalist and founding member of UB40, Terence Wilson, better known by his stage name Astro, has died after a short illness. His band confirmed. We are absolutely devastated, completely heartbroken to have to tell you that our beloved Astro has passed away after a very short illness. Statement on Ali Campbell and Astro's Twitter account said on Saturday, "The world will never be the same without him." Wilson was part of the British reggae band UB40 for more than 30 years before leaving the band to join the breakaway group UB40 featuring Ali Campbell and Astro in 2013. UB40 formed in Birmingham in the late 70s and over the next 3 decades found success with hits including Red Red Wine and I Can't Help Falling in Love. I actually like both these songs now, but if you'd asked me in the late 80s, early 90s about Red Red Wine, you would have had a 10-minute long rant. The band dealt with social and political issues head on in their songs, giving voice to working class dissatisfaction with the status quo at the time. I went through the same rigmarole as most black people in the late 70s, Astro told The Guardian in May, remembering the sus law that allowed the weekly occurrence of police arresting people who were deemed to be acting suspiciously, often on racist pretexts. So yeah, another founding member had died of cancer in August at the age of 62, Brian Travers. So it looks like we're not getting a reunion album anytime soon. So loss to the music industry for sure. As well as expected. Oh, that's good. That's good. I hope everything's going well for you. Also, in death news, we lost Dean Stockwell from Quantum Leap at age 85. Former Quantum Leap star Dean Stockwell, an Oscar and Emmy-nominated actor whose career on stage, film, and TV spanned more than 70 years, passed away in the early morning of November 7th. He died peacefully at home of natural causes. A rep for the family confirmed the deadline. He was 85. Stockwell, born in 1936 in North Hollywood. By the time he was 7, he was on Broadway, launching a career as a child actor. He appeared on Anchors Away with Frank Sinatra and Gene Kelly, Kim with Errol Flynn, Gentleman's Agreement, and most notably the controversial 1948 film The Boy with Green Hair. As an adult, Stockwell returned to the Broadway stage in Compulsion with Roddy McDowall, who became a lifelong friend. Stockwell reprised his role in the film version and won his first of Best 2 Actor awards at the Cannes Film Festival. He also starred in Sons and Lovers and Long Day's Journey into Night with Katharine Hepburn. Not the captain of the Voyager. That was a different Catherine. Stockwell was on the verge of a career change when he got a real estate license and packed up the family to leave Hollywood, when he received a phone call from Harry Dean Stanton, who convinced him to join him on the set of Wim Wenders' film Paris, Texas, that lead to a string of memorable roles in Blue Velvet, Dune, and Married to the Mob, which earned Stockwell an Academy Award nomination. That's sad because Married to the Mob was not good. The Rainmaker and the Player. In television was where Dean Stockwell delivered his signature performance as the quirky sci-fi TV series Quantum Leap. He played Admiral Al Cavalici opposite Scott Bakula, landing 4 Emmy nominations for his role. Stockwell's series credits include Battlestar Galactica, JAG from Quantum Leap creator Donald Belisario, I don't know, and the Tony Danza Show and NCIS New Orleans, among others. In recent years, he had retired in 2015. Did pursue a career change, making art and exhibiting around the U.S. under his full name, Robert Dean Stockwell. So, yeah, I mostly remember him from Quantum Leap. And Battlestar Galactica probably would be the two notable ones for me. But Quantum Leap was on for a long time. That was iconic for the 80s. So, yep, another loss there. Kid Rock. Oh, yeah, dude. BG, I totally get that. I absolutely get it. All right, so I think that's most of the deaths. Get those out of the way. Let's see here. Let's talk remakes, which are similar to death. They're going to remake Roadhouse. Roadhouse. Hey, Sir Amantine, how you doing, man? Oh, really? Oh, we'll have to check that out. All right, so MGM is in talks with desired lead actor and director for Roadhouse remake. You don't have to remake everything, you lazy bastards. Look, this movie wasn't that good. I'm sorry. It was a guy's movie. It's a beer and pretzels kind of thing. You sit around and watch it, turn your brain off, and get your mullet on, I guess. But does it really need a remake? It was pretty terrible. It's time to brush up on James Dalton's 3 simple rules for patronizing the Double Deuce, as a new report claims MGM's planned remake of Roadhouse is in talks to both secure its director and lead actor. I don't know why you just don't make a sequel if you're going to do that. No need to remake it. As allegedly detailed to Deadline by their sources and subsequently reported by the trade news outlet in November 10th exclusive, MGM is currently in talks with Jake Gyllenhaal to have Spider-Man Far From Home star step into the role of Dalton, the protagonist of the action movie classic originally portrayed by Patrick Swayze. Holy God, these sentences are long. Deadline sources told them that the studio's in talks with Doug Liman, whose credits include The Bourne Identity and Edge of Tomorrow, to have him serve as the remake's director. Okay, so he's got some potential here. Bourne Identity was a good action flick. Also kind of a brainless show. I never saw Edge of Tomorrow. I've heard it's good. Further outside these apparent talks with Gyllenhaal and Lehman, little is known about the film's production, so much so that it's unknown whether it's a straight remake or a modern take on the material. Now, if it was a modern take, it would be a sassy black woman with green hair, and she'd defeat everyone with cutting insults about social justice. It's also unknown if Gyllenhaal will be playing the role of Dalton or play a completely new character in that world. It's going to be a remake. Originally released in '89, Roadhouse follows the story of professional bouncer James Dalton, who's hired by Club Missouri owner Frank Tillman to help refine the image of the establishment, the Double Deuce. However, upon his arrival to the Show Me State, the New York transplant soon finds himself in the crosshairs of Brad Wesley, a corrupt businessman who extorts local businesses and seeks to have Dalton work for him. Ooh, it's kind of a lazy Yojimbo. Refusing to take Wesley's criminal actions lying down, Dalton proceeds to wage a one-man war in defense of his friends and the local community, ultimately taking down his would-be employer in a fatal one-on-one confrontation. Spoiler alert. So yeah, they're trying to get Jake Gyllenhaal, who's really kind of bad casting for that, I think. They'd be better off getting an unknown that actually can do some martial arts. Hollywood is very bankrupt in terms of creativity. You're not wrong. They're still going to have Ronda Rousey playing the lead? Maybe. Actually, I'd rather see Ronda Rousey play the lead. Just like in wrestling, they hire people they saw what sold and try to capture that charm. Yeah, I think it's actually lazier than that, because not only is there a bankable group of people that will go out and watch this because they liked the original, they can say it's an homage to Patrick Swayze. They get sympathy points that way. And then it's got brand recognition. Instead of making a new action movie, they're just trying to milk off of the name of this one, right? Its coattails. And then they could vault the original and come up with some new social justice nonsense, and you'll never ever see the original again. Oh, that sounds even worse, right? If you're going to remake something, it needs to be a flawed film There's a good premise with bad execution, or you like the premise but want to take a new direction, hopefully a new name. Yeah, you would think so, BG, but no. The movie with the chick with the machine gun, like, that's a much different movie, Raymond. Yeah. New romantic interest going to be another dude, probably. Yeah, Ronda Rousey was the guard, and they changed the name to like the Double Deuce or something, and it's 30 years later, and a similar thing happens. Fine, but at least Ronda Rousey would be better casting than that fucking hack Gyllenhaal. I'm sorry, and apparently he smells funny from what that other article we covered a few months back said. Hey Lester, how you doing, man? I'm doing okay. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I'm not real thrilled about this one. I think this is kind of stupid. All right, let's see what's next. All right, there's a lot of kind of TV and movie news, but we do have some more serious stuff on the table here too. But let's try and get some of this other film stuff out of the way. All right, over at Cosmic Book News, Star Wars Rogue Squadron from Patty Jenkins is delayed indefinitely. That's probably a good thing. Confirming the rumors, it's reported Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie from director Patty Jenkins has been delayed indefinitely. The Hollywood Reporter reports Star Wars Rogue Squadron was supposed to start filming next year, but has been shelved with really no reason given other than Jenkins has a busy schedule, and the hope is that once Jenkins fulfills her previous commitments, she'll be able to return to the project. This is Hollywood speak for Wonder Woman tanked, so we're not that interested anymore. According to IMDb, Jenkins will be working on Cleopatra next with Gal Gadot, and then what Rogue Squadron was supposed to follow with Wonder Woman 3 after Star Wars. However, there have been a lot of chatter as of late to hit the press about Wonder Woman 3, and Warner Brothers previously said they fast-tracked the third movie in the franchise, so perhaps Jenkins and Gadot are doing Wonder Woman 3 next, which maybe ties in to The Flash. Update. Deadline adds the film didn't even have a cast, and that Jenkins is presently juggling her schedule, that she's committed to Rogue Squadron and will return to direct, and that the release date will be December 22nd, 2023 is intact. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm buying that. Regarding the rumors from just a couple of days ago, it's rumored that a new Star Wars movie will go into production next year, which will be an Old Republic flick and not a Star Wars movie from either Taika Waititi or Kevin Feige. This guy's fucking annoying, and Kevin Feige is going full hardcore woke. So I'm kind of glad that it's not either one of them. The rumor offers the reason for what Rogue Squadron delay was due to wanting to get the script right. Yeah, right. Where it was said Rogue Squadron could be pushed back a year, but according to this report from the Hollywood Reporter, Rogue Squadron now sounds years away if it ever gets made. I don't think we're going to see this. Not from Patty Jenkins. I didn't watch the video. Apparently, they're making a sequel to the X-Men animated series. Yeah, I didn't pull that one up because I wasn't real clear on if that's an actual go or not, and I already had enough rumor stuff in this one. We already have like 23 articles to go through too, so that one just got cut for time. But yeah, they're talking about doing a sequel to the original X-Men animated series. I think they'll just screw it up and make it super woke. Disney and Patty Jenkins announced Rogue Squadron during last year's Investor Day presentation, where it's thought the flick will be about a female Rogue Squadron pilot and her experiences and journey surrounded by male pilots. Patty Jenkins is a very woke person, so it wouldn't surprise me if this is just going to be more feminist indoctrination shit. And with Wonder Woman 1984 tanking, and Terminator, Dark Fate, and a bunch of these other ones woking, maybe Disney's waking up a little bit, but I doubt it. This one probably just got cut because her box office popularity dropped because of Wonder Woman, and they had some other woke nonsense in mind to destroy Star Wars even better than this one would have. Sexism in Star Wars? Are you seriously kidding me right now? If rumors from Doom True, basically, they're going back to the drawing board with Star Wars. KK's on really shaky ground. He's been saying that for a long time, and she's still there. So, if they were serious about fixing Star Wars, they would have fired her by now. But they're not. Disney seems to be aiming in a much more woke direction, and they haven't learned. Maybe they're starting to, so they're scrapping a few projects. But look at Indiana Jones 5, still going forward. Got the same feeling. If they do it, they'll make it woke. Yep. They need to change it up, or I'm done with them. I'm really close to being done with everything Disney. The few glimmering gems they have do not justify all the trash they're putting out, because people seem to still want to go see this stuff, and they don't learn. As long as people are giving them money, they're going to keep doing this shit. Maybe this will be the rare hit instead of an overwhelming miss. The majority of those movies, I doubt it. Bunch of rah-rah girl power, and then you're a sexist if you don't like it. Oh, they haven't even gotten to filming any of it yet, BG. They haven't even cast anyone. Oh, Indy 5? That movie's fucking cursed. I think they did delay that for more reshoots, but it looks like that's going to be a big turd pile. So, all right, so you get the idea. Rogue Squadron also marks another Star Wars project under Kathleen Kennedy to be canceled or delayed, or that has seen production issues, as nothing has been said about Rian Johnson's trilogy. The Game of Thrones TV creators who were supposed to do a project but was canceled, and there have been issues with Disney's Star Wars trilogy, Rogue One, and Han Solo. Rumors also offer Kathleen may be out. I don't think she is. If she is, they need to speed that up. I know they're letting her ruin Indiana Jones 5 right now, but no way around Kennedy making it. I think they could have paid her off or just fired her, but you're probably right, sadly. Hey, Cracked. No, if they really wanted to fix Indiana Jones 5, they would have very strict oversight on what she's doing. Because, yeah, they can say, well, you're contracted to do this movie, but they can also say, we're going to hold your hand every step of the damn way. All right. Okay. Over at the Hollywood Reporter, we've got this story. Predator prequel Prey to hit Hulu summer 2022. This is from David Trachtenberg, is behind this project. Predator stuff's been pretty garbage last several installments. That Predators movie was okay, but it could have been way cooler. Everything else looks like dog crap. And Predator 5 looks like more woke trash. The next installment of 20th Century's Predator franchise has been unveiled as Prey. The film is a prequel taking place 300 years in the past in the Comanche Nation. This is the one I was just talking about. It follows Naru, a skilled warrior who fiercely protects her tribe as an alien predator hunts them. Amber Midthunder stars as Naru in the film. 10 Cloverfield Lane director David Trachtenberg became attached to the project a year ago. It's expected to hit Hulu next summer. It's the fifth installment in the Predator franchise, which began with the 1987 Schwarzenegger film. I think we all know about fucking Predator. The Predator, if you guys haven't seen that, that was garbage. Oh, it was so stupid. The news of Prey's premise and title was released as part of Disney+ Day, which included a look at new Disney-controlled Hulu's upcoming slate as well. Other 20th Century Fox projects set to debut on Hulu include Rosaline, comedic twist on Romeo and Juliet, starring somebody I don't care about, directed by somebody I don't care about. The Princess, an action movie set in a fairy tale world, starring Joey King and directed by Lee Van Keet. And No Exit, a suspense thriller starring Havana Rose Liu. Notice that these are all girl power films. Rosalind, a comedic twist on Romeo and Juliet, starring this chick. They don't even tell you who the dude is, probably because there isn't one. It's probably a lesbian movie. The Princess, action movie set in a fairy tale world with Joey King. Yeah, it's totally going to be about the princess saving the dude, I bet. And No Exit, suspense thriller starring Havana Rose Liu, who probably beats a bunch of men up. It's a bunch of trash. Hey, Kyle, how you doing, man? Yeah, this is more disappointing, woke trash. So I have no doubt this movie's gonna suck. Uh, she's gonna be the bestest ever, and she's gonna fight the Predator and kick his ass out the gate. It's gonna be lazy, just more woke garbage. Not worth my time or my subscription payments. Doing good making video? Cool. Direct to VHS film. That seems to be what Hulu and Netflix basically are, is direct to video. But without the fun of direct to video movies. You know, there used to be a lot of good direct to video stuff that was just super low budget, but would be entertaining, and you could at least make fun of it. This stuff's just boring. Supposed to be clever, does your right? Same Fugit. How you doing, man? No theater outings for me anytime soon. Yeah, I haven't seen anything that I want to go actually pay money for. That Dune movie was pretty good, but I don't know. I hope we get a sequel and it's not woke trash where Zendaya does everything, but I don't have a lot of faith in that. Yeah, there's not a lot of the stuff that I want to watch anymore. It's sad because there's a lot of cool stuff out there, or stuff that could be cool, but just isn't. Speaking of things that shouldn't be made or remade, from Screen Rant, Henry Cavill led Highlander reboot movie films in 2022. They don't need to remake fucking Highlander. And it's not a franchise, guys. Just let it go. Christopher Lambert was fine. Leave him alone. Lambert. I call him Lambert most of the time, but I guess it's Lambert. Henry Cavill is taking the lead role of Connor McLeod in the upcoming rendition of Highlander, which is now confirmed to begin filming in 2022. The inception of the original Highlander film in 1986 kicked off a franchise that never needed to happen, that has seen its fair share of revivals and reworkings. All told, the franchise has bolstered 4 feature films, a made-for-TV movie, 2 television series, and an animated series. I did like the Highlander TV series, but they really didn't need Connor guest appearing in there like they did in the first couple episodes. It could have just been about Duncan. And that follow-up movie was fucking dumb. But I liked the guy that played Duncan MacLeod. He was a good actor. As directed by Russell McCulley, the original film follows the story of Connor MacLeod, otherwise known as the Highlander, because he's from Scotland. The film was released with the now legendary tagline, "There could be only one," and there should have been only one movie. Grossed nearly 13 million around the globe. In a recent sit down, I don't really care about any of this. The intentions to bring about a new Highlander film began in 2008 when Summit Entertainment acquired the franchise rights. A slew of writers and directors attached themselves to the project over the years, although nothing ever fully came to fruition. At one point, Ryan Reynolds signed on for the role of Connor MacLeod, because that's what we need. Everything is a joke. And that's how it would be. Ryan Reynolds is known to be a jokester in his movies. He doesn't do very many serious films. I don't think I can even think of one off the top of my head where he didn't start wisecracking through the entire fucking film. However, he quickly dropped out of the film when director Juan Carlos Fresnadillo left, citing irreconcilable creative differences. Now everything appears to be falling into place with Stalatsky at the helm and Cavill in the lead, although it has seemingly taken forever to get to this point. As the adage goes, there could be only one, and that one to get it done is Cavill. I don't know about that. I mean, the guy's got the look for it. I'm sure he'd be fine. I like him as an actor, but there's no need to remake this movie. Forehead Man here did it just fine. This is a waste of time. Oh, 2 was a shit movie, Evil One. I'm sorry. The director's cut was better, but that whole space alien thing was fucking dumb. Yeah, there were 4 movies. There was Highlander, Highlander 2, New Dimension, the third one with Mario Van Peebles, and the fourth one with Duncan MacLeod. Was the Duncan MacLeod one the TV movie? No, I don't think so. But they had a TV movie with Duncan MacLeod too. And the Duncan MacLeod storyline was fine. And it didn't need to end with his death or anything stupid like that. But the movie they made that wrapped everything up was really, really weak. Like, it had some cool action scenes, but the ending was so dumb. But I liked what's his face playing Duncan, and I thought the TV show was fun. It was, serial Star Trek type show where everything's wrapped up in an episode most of the time. They had that cool storyline too, where he killed a guy that was like an evil person who absorbed a lot of evil souls, and when Duncan got that, it made him kind of evil for a little while. That was pretty cool. To his shit, and it was time to stop. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, same Fugi. I think he just prefers comedy films. And if he would stop doing those, I mean, he's rich enough he could fund his own fucking film or pick and choose what he wants to do. But if he really wants to do that, then otherwise he's the jokey guy. And some movies aren't jokey. Yeah, Elwolf, the first one, that was the only good one. I liked the TV show just fine, but it could have taken place in the same universe and just not had Connor in it. So, but when they put Connor in the first couple episodes, I thought that really hurt the show. They needed it to be its own thing, and it didn't really get on that footing until about season 2 or 3. All right, over at comicbook.com. Fallout TV show still happening, according to Todd Howard. It's been more than a year since Bethesda and Amazon announced the TV series based on the Fallout games, so some fans can be forgiven for thinking that it might have been quietly canceled. Fortunately, that is not the case, as Bethesda's Todd Howard has confirmed that the show is still in development. Howard was asked about Fallout during a Reddit Q&A, because that's the most reliable place on earth, is Reddit. Celebrating the release of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition, because they're not done milking that franchise for 10 years. How about Elder Scrolls 6, you lazy fucks? While Howard had little to say about the project, fans of the game should be happy to hear that the show hasn't been given the axe. Moving ahead, really excited to be working with Jonah, Lisa, and Amazon on it, Howard wrote on Reddit. Howard is referring to Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, creators of HBO's Westworld. Okay, that one visually looked good. I never watched the show. I just saw images from it. I heard Fallout TV. Heard Amazon. Thought, of course, Amazon. Yeah, everybody will be black and gay. They're making a TV. Yeah, physical TV. Yeah, it could be cool, but I doubt it will be. Exactly right, Ginger Snap. And hi. Oh, well, the video game adaptations have historically been a mixed bag. That's underselling that. There have been a few renaissance at the moment. Adaptations such as Detective Pikachu, which was fun. Sonic, I never saw that, but I've heard it was fun. Kids movie. It's proven that, and for weirdos, proven that Hollywood can find success by sticking closely to the source material. This month, we'll see the release of Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which looks fucking lame. And next year, we'll see Uncharted, which looks equally lame. They should have got Nathan Fillion for Uncharted. They should have done it like 10 years ago, when Uncharted was still a thing. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, speaking into theaters. Halo and The Last of Us are both getting TV shows. Last of Us is going to be awful as a TV show. That'll be super woke. Mario's getting an animated theatrical release, which could be good. There's some interesting people attached to that. So, yeah, Fallout's still happening. I don't know. I think they're going to fuck this up, because if it's Amazon, there's probably going to be 30% gays and 90% people of color, because they can't make good characters anymore. They just have to shit all over franchises and make you feel sad about who you are. Okay. We're getting all the entertainment stuff out of the way if we can here. I like the Sonic well enough to care about Jim Carrey and still liked it. Yeah, I heard he did a fine job in it. He looked the part. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure the sequel will be fine too. Sonic was okay. Detective Pikachu could go kick dirt. Wow. Wow, you Poker Man fans are really hardcore. Sonic movie had nothing to do with the games. That doesn't surprise me. But it will sell games because little kids will want to go play them then. I gave my boy Donkey Kong to Seth Rogen. What? Why? That lazy stoner? He's awful. Everything turns to shit. Some guy used to be on Twitter. Yep, that guy was 100% correct. Okay, I'm afraid it's time for everybody's favorite moment where I shill. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Ring that bell for notifications. If you're so inclined, donate to the Streamlabs or pick yourself something up nice from the merchandise store. Jack's got to eat. And so does Lord Flippington, and he ate the last can of food, so he's better hold out till about 10 a.m. when I can go get more food. Prince of Persia attempts. Oh, man, I didn't see that, but it looked so bad. That's why I don't think Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be a good cast for Roadhouse. I mean, get somebody better, man. Don't stop going to the same well over and over again. Plus, he's in like his 40s now. I thought it was. I'm not a Pokemon person, so I didn't care about any of that, guys. I just thought it was a pretty good kids movie. I enjoyed it. I even laughed once. All right, over at comicbook.com again, Randall Park to star in sitcom about Blockbuster video employees. I actually like Randall Park. I think he's a very underrated actor. Ant-Man and the Wasp star Randall Park is set to, and he was also in WandaVision, star in a Netflix original sitcom set in a Blockbuster video store. The series, titled Blockbuster, hails from producer Vanessa Ramos, who's done Superstore and Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Brooklyn Nine-Nine? I don't know. And will reportedly take place in a fictionalized version of the last Blockbuster store in the world, which in the context of the series is a dying strip mall in a dying town. This reads a little bit like the idea behind the @lone Blockbuster Twitter account, a popular parody account that's supposedly run by depressed employees at the last Blockbuster, where everything is awful and the customers are a ragtag group of lunatics. Yeah, it does sound like a knockoff of some Twitter account. There actually is one single Blockbuster video still in business in Bend, Oregon. Like most Blockbuster stores, it's a standalone building rather than a strip mall, and the staff and customers seem fairly normal. If the 2020 documentary The Last Blockbuster is any indication, that movie was a big hit on Netflix when it arrived last spring. I haven't seen that yet, but I wanted to. I liked Blockbuster. They were overpriced. We had a local store that was way better when I was in college. That was amazing selection. Blew Blockbuster away. Blockbuster focused on the big releases, and these guys had all the obscure shit. The irony of our indie movie about Blockbuster video and VHS renting being available to stream on Netflix is not lost on us, the director said. Someone at Netflix clearly has a good sense of humor about the whole situation, but I guess, as they say, history is written by the winners. It's fun to think about a fantasy world where Blockbuster and Netflix can peacefully coexist. Blockbuster at one point had the ability to buy Netflix, and they didn't do it because they didn't think it was going anywhere. And here we are. When I was working security, I used to guard this old abandoned factory, which was an awesome job. That was probably the greatest job I've ever had. I used to go to Blockbuster and rent like 3 movies on their monthly thing, where you could rent 2 to 3 movies a day by just paying this flat fee. And I would take them, watch them, and then at the end of my shift, return them and get 3 more. I watched so many movies and TV shows at that job. It was great. I don't need a background on Blockbuster. But yeah, Randall Park's going to be attached to this. It's probably going to be pretty funny. But Netflix is doing it, so it's going to be lame and diverse and probably have a bunch of like tolerance stuff in there too. But I'd be willing to give this one a chance and watch it because I like Randall Park. Did you do any ghost hunting in the old abandoned building? I did, and there was nothing there. He was also on a show Something about the boat, off the boat or something like that, right off the boat. That was about an immigrant family. That was a funny show. I liked that one. I only saw like the first 2 seasons though. I got a bunch of footage on my main account, Wolf, if you want a tour of the facility. My family owned a movie rental place called Village Video. Nice. I loved video stores, man. They were awesome. Oh, it really was evolved. I really did next to nothing. Fresh off the boat. Thank you, Louie. And hi. Did work for my local rental place repairing tapes. Oh, cool. Yeah, guarding an abandoned building. Pretty sweet gig. It was like 7 buildings, 30 some acres. And I just basically had to walk around a little bit and then watch a bunch of TV and movies. It was amazing. Living the dream, almost never encountering other people. Oh, dare to dream. Dare to dream. Over at Bleeding Cool, we've got some news on another series that's coming up. Willow, Disney Plus sequel welcomes Dempsey Brick to cast. As part of a slew of news coming from Disney Plus, a day, which was, I think, today. Yeah, the 12th. So technically yesterday, I guess. Disney Plus and Lucasfilm's fantasy sequel series adaptation of the 1988 film Willow is welcoming Dempsey Brick, who is in The Birch and Heartland. I have no idea who this asshole is. Reportedly focusing on the group's mission to save a prince, Willow features Ellie Bamber, character Dove, an unassuming kitchen maid who proves that she is the chosen one. Of course she is. As she embarks on the journey, Ruby Cruz is playing Kit, is the princess whose twin brother was abducted, destined to be a leader and ultimately be queen. Aaron Kellyman, who's in Solo, plays Jade, a servant who is also Kit's best friend and moral compass, and on her way to becoming the best young warrior in the kingdom. Because of course she is. Look, we got the best female warrior. That's redundant. The future queen, obviously. So they got to go rescue a dude. And we've got Dove, who is only a kitchen maid now, but is the chosen one, of course. They joined Warwick Davis, who is set to return the role of Willow Umpgood. Whatever. I can fucking pronounce that. Tony Ravioli, I don't know, is reportedly playing a character previously referred to as Borman, a thief and liar who joins the quest in exchange for getting out of prison, which is just a knockoff of Mad Mardigan. Original film writer Bob Dolman serves as a consulting producer, which means that he just stands there and nobody listens to him. With Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and Michelle Rejwan executive producing. Howard's Imagine Television will produce with Ropesh Parketh and Hannah Friedman serving as co-executive producers on behalf of the company. Julia Cooperman will produce. This is going to be shit. The Davis Val Kilmer, the movie didn't make a lot of money. It made $110 million on a $35 million budget, which at the time was considered a failure, but it's been popular on video for years and years and years. $35 million investment was expected to yield deeper profits. They did make sequel books, which I read. Chris Claremont wrote them. Shadow Moon, I liked that one. Shadow Dawn, I don't really remember that one. And Shadow Star was okay. But effectively, Chris Claremont wrote these books, and he just everybody changed their names. That was basically the crux of it. But they focused a little bit more on Mad Mardigan, and they were pretty interesting. I liked those a lot better than the premise that we got here, which is rah-rah girl power bullshit. Sneakerella. I heard about that. It just looked really dumb. No, it's not porn, sadly. There was a really good Cinderella porno. Well, it was a triple X, but it was more like hard R rating. I wouldn't have called it triple X. But that one had this chick. She had a snapper vagina. She's a snapper. They had little musical numbers too. It was quite interesting. It's from like the late 70s, but it was really, really weird. Anyway, it's racist Disney movie coming soon. Yeah, pretty much. All right, Variety is reporting the Spiderwick Chronicles adaptation coming to Disney+. Now, they did a movie about this, but it was a book series. Some of you are probably in the target demographic from this. Yeah, me and my sister accidentally saw that years ago. We must find the girl with the snapping pussy. It's a weirdly memorable movie, Elwolf. And there's two versions of it, too. There's an R-rated one, and then the X-rated. The X-rated is way better. I mean, you can't... There's no, like, blatant penetration shown. It's mostly just a joke movie that got that rating because of the excessive nudity for its era. But it's a strangely memorable movie. Yeah, I was like 14. Yeah, that's about when I saw it too. Cinemax had the greatest movies on late at night. Being an unattended latchkey child was a lot of fun. Spiderwick Chronicles coming to Disney Plus. A series adaptation of the beloved book Spiderwick Chronicles is coming to Disney Plus. The streamer revealed on Friday as part of Disney Plus Day. The announcement was accompanied by the first artwork from the series, based on the best-selling children's books by Tony, somebody I can't pronounce, and Holly Black. The Spiderwick Chronicles follow the Grace family, twin brothers Jared and Simon, sister Mallory, and their mother Helen, as they move into their great-great-uncle's home and discover a world of fairies that exists parallel to their own. The series contains 5 books: The Field Guide, Seeing Stone, Lucinda's Secret, The Ironwood Tree, and The Wrath of Mulgarath. The spin-off series called Beyond the Spiderwick Chronicles consists of 3 novels: The Nixie Song, A Giant Problem, and The Worm King. Film adaptation of the books debuted in 2008, starring Freddie Highmore and a bunch of other people nobody cares about, and made $162 million and received generally positive reviews. So they've only kind of teased this, but yeah, if you were a Spider Chronicles fan back in the day, this might be something for you. I'm sure it'll be fine. This won't be much better, probably not, but if it's something you liked in your childhood, they find a way to ruin it. But I thought I'd better warn you guys that it's getting made so that you're aware. Because they announced a lot of stuff today, but we'll get back to Disney in a little bit. In the meantime, let's go to something a little bit more positive. Let's talk gaming. Star Wars Roleplaying reprints and new supplements on the way from Edge of Empire lead developer. Update: Edge Studios dismisses original indication it is working on brand new Star Wars RPGs. This is from Dicebreaker. Edge Studios has now told Dicebreaker that no standalone Star Wars RPGs are in development, despite the indication last month that it was working on brand new titles in the sci-fi setting. Edge's October 15th announcement explicitly stated it will be producing role-playing games set in the famous galaxy far, far away, with studio head Giles Garnier saying the team wanted to bring our vision of what a Star Wars RPG could be. Probably really woke. An RPG manager, Sam Gregor Stewart, adding it would create something fresh for our fans. Edge Studios also has subsequently claimed that its announcement referred to the reprints of the Fantasy Flight original releases for the Star Wars role-playing game and brand new supplements that will be produced by Edge rather than standalone core rulebooks or new additions. For the moment, we are concentrating our efforts on the reprints of Star Wars books already published by Fantasy Flight Games. Fantasy Flight did high-quality, really good stuff for a long, long time. I don't know why Edge Studios is doing this now, but I don't know. In a second phase, we will work on new supplements for the game. We haven't announced anything else. Dicebreaker has responded to Edge Studios for further clarification about future releases for Star Wars role-playing, and will continue to update the story. So basically, they're just taking the Fantasy Flight stuff and reprinting it. Now, these actually had a lot of depth to them. I'd rather they reprint the West End stuff that was all D6 based. I think the system was cleaner in the Star Wars role-playing game from West End than the Fantasy Flight stuff. But the Fantasy Flight stuff was well done. They just had better stuff for the West End. But I'm not opposed to this. I just find it weird that Edge Studios is doing it. They're probably going to change some stuff and make it woke. Yeah, they're probably cutting stuff out. Yeah, the rating system is BS. Spider Babe? What? Sorry, I can't follow chat too closely. I don't know what you mean by Spider Babe. Seen something they were coming out with a tabletop Skyrim. I can't remember where I saw it. Oh, that would be kind of cool. Rolling big handfuls of dice is fun. Yeah, that's a lot of the fun of role playing is rolling dice. Maybe that's just me, but I'm a big fan of that. All right, let's talk about another RPG that we talked about previously. Oh, damn it. Have a good one, nobody. All right, where's my mouse? I don't know what I'm doing. All right, this one comes from Dicebreaker as well. Advanced Lovers and Lesbians is the first expansion for Thirsty Sword Lesbians. So if we could get rid of more straight men out of RPGs, that'd be super, and make it all about the lesbians and people of color and differently abled stuff. Featuring new settings like greasy dock goblins. That sounds like two ugly, smelly fat chicks rubbing their no-nos together. Greasy dock goblins. Enhanced sessions of Thirsty Sword Lesbians with the first expansion for the queer tabletop role-playing game called Advanced Lesbians and Lovers. Featuring 10 new playbooks, 4 adventures, and over 20 setting ideas, Advanced Lovers and Lesbians is an expansion for the tabletop RPG Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Initially a collection of stretch goals for the original RPG Kickstarter campaign, Advanced Lovers and Lesbians has become its own 272-page expansion that players and game masters can use to alter and enhance their sessions of the game. Still 100% penis-free. The 10 newly added, at least that's my assumption, the 10 newly added playbooks found in Advanced Lovers and Lesbians feature the likes of the bloody oh god, is that about menstruating? Created by Aaron Edwards, a playbook that sees the characters taking on the violent works of others, while Kathleen Cross's The Hollow Goddess creates a synthetic character who approaches every situation as an air of logic. Other playbooks include Ash Cheshire's The Investigator, Alex Sarah's The Matriarch, and Jan Martin's The Sun Hand. I could do this. Anybody can create a woke RPG. Okay, the bloody is really just a wizard that uses the powers of their menstrual fluid to cast spells. See, there, new character class, copyright, trademark, patent pending, etc. Advanced Lesbians and Lovers contains several setting ideas for the queer role-playing game, which can provide GMs with ideas for adventures and scenarios. For example, Battle Bards for the Soul System by Brianna Hitchcock sees players embarking on an intergalactic journey where wrongs must be righted. Alternatively, the Greasy Dock Goblins, settings by Avery Adler, the designer of Monster Hearts and The Quiet Year, has players becoming dock workers who have ambitions of improving their lot in life. Oh my god, why do I want to play so close to reality where you can only relate to stuff that is going on in your day-to-day? You work a shit job that you hate and you want to improve your lot in life. Why do I need to role play that? You don't even get killed dragons, I bet. Lame. For more detailed adventure ideas, GMs can use the examples provided in ALL, such as Fashion and Slashin' by Vylar Kaftan, an adventure focused around the Met Gala. It's always about dances. Have you noticed that? And a Dream Diamond Heist. Or Misha Brushjager's Romancing the Throne. An adventure taking place in an imperial palace wherein eligible bachelorettes meet. Because, of course, everybody's a lesbian. Alongside the multitude of contributors, Advanced Lovers and Lesbians was created by April Kit Walsh, the original designer for Thirsty Sword Lesbians and creator of the cathartic storytelling game End of the Line. It's being released by Evil Hat Productions, the publisher responsible for Thirsty Sword Lesbians and for publishing other RPGs such as Blades in the Dark, Fate, and Band of Blades. Remember, these are the guys that were bad-mouthing people a few months back. So yeah, it's going live November 24th with a pledge of $39 or £29, getting backers a physical copy of the expansion book in March 2022. Alternately, a digital version for a pledge of $20. What a waste of money. Hey, Kevin. At least they're making their own stuff. Yeah, I'll give them that, but fucking dumb. Now, if a straight guy had made a video or a tabletop RPG about lesbians, it would be totally blacklisted. Yeah, back then it was Edgy Evil One. So if you want to keep an eye on that one and buy that trash, you go right ahead. I have no interest in Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Telling you, I could make that book and make it better. It'd be a lot more gory and offensive, but really fucking irritating. Okay, before we get into the Disney drama, let's look at some Marvel nonsense. What the hell did I just hear? You heard a sequel to Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Yeah, exactly, Elwolf. I could throw $20 in the street and watch it blow away and be more entertained. This comes from Bleeding Cool. Marvel introduces Queen Goblin, not to be confused with Goblin Queen, because that's what Spider-Man needed, was another Goblin-themed bad guy, because they haven't milked that quite enough. You were thinking like, oh, they should make a new character for Spider-Man to fight. Well, they did, so they made it yet another Goblin, because they're so full of original ideas. Right, same Fugi. All right, Marvel Comics is introducing a new Spider villain in February. A series of teasers posted on the Spider-Man Twitter account revealed. This new villain, who we understand will be called the Queen Goblin, has her own Goblin glider, of course she does, and her own flaming Goblin-themed American Gladiators joust stick. Because that's what it needed, and a perchant for terrorizing Spider-Man in her underwear. Oh boy, beyond that, not much is known about the character except that she should absolutely not be confused with the Goblin Queen, a totally different character from the X-Men mythos, also making her return soon. That's just lazy. You already have a character called the Goblin Queen, so you had to make Queen Goblin. It's bad enough for you having another Goblin villain. God, that's lazy. So yeah, they had a bunch of tweets about it that I don't care about. Who is the new Goblin Queen? By what right of lineage does she claim to be Goblin royalty? Ha ha ha. What does she mean with Spider-Man? What does she want with him? What does she have against pants? Will Fox News catch wind of this, and will its pundits start complaining about the beloved capitalist man Norman Osborn has been replaced by a woman whose color suggests she may be some kind of socialist? Everybody in Marvel's a socialist these days. What are you talking about? Or is communism just a red herring? No, communism is probably the goal. These and many more questions may or may not be answered this February. This is as excited as I could get for this crap. So yeah, there's another lazy new character. These people are so creatively bankrupt. This is the best they could come up with. It's bad enough they came up with the Red Goblin. That was fucking dumb. They're like, well, let's make her a chick and make her a queen because all women are queens. It's fucking stupid. And she's probably the best goblin ever. Marvel is so lazy. It's so creatively bankrupt. don't care. Yeah, exactly. More excited than I could fake. Yeah. It's fucking pathetic. Marvel is a joke. It's such a sad shadow of what they once were. Even the crappy 90s stuff they did is shockingly better written than most of the trash they're squeezing out now. And I say squeezing out because I'm making a poop analogy. These are just glistening turds that they're flopping out into the world and expecting you to pay $4 to $5 for a 20-page book. It's garbage. It's not worth it. Every now and then they'll get something good, but it's pretty rare. And it makes me sad because I used to read a lot of Marvel and DC stuff, and now I read almost none. I actually read more DC stuff, and that's always proving to be largely disappointing. I almost always regret what I buy from DC. There have been a couple of gems. Blue and Gold's been pretty good. But largely, everything coming out, I read more indie stuff now, and that's fucking sad. I grew up buying stuff off the rack from Marvel and DC, and you look at stuff from like continuity, and you'd be like, no. But like now, comics made a lot of really cool licensed stuff. That IDW is kind of the modern equivalent of that, except more woke. But that stuff's all gone. Good books are all in the indies. Content. Yeah, it's just content. They're squeezing out content because they know there are enough people around to sustain them. They're not thriving, they're barely sustaining. They could be thriving, but they choose not to. They're going for the woke crowd, Ginger. They think that there's a phantom audience out there of hardcore wokeists that will dump a bunch of money on this crap, and they won't. It's obvious. The stories don't sell. It's not that they don't have the money, Ginger. It's the people they're targeting don't read comics. They're not the target demographic. And they pirate stuff instead. So if they want to read this stuff, they just go to the Russian sites and download it for free. They're not paying money for it. They'll just complain about it on Twitter about how you're a bad person for not loving it. And they say it's their favorite character and whatnot, but they don't buy any of this stuff. That's why the sales are so shit. And DC is on their way to doing what Marvel did about 5 years ago and probably going to go out of business because of it. Gave up Marvel in 91, DC in 93. I've read a lot of Batman stuff in the 90s. I liked a lot of that. Marvel, I gave up on probably 94 completely. But they've had some good stuff over the years. I'm going to go back and read a bunch of 90s stuff for reviews. I've been picking up, I got this huge run of X Factor. I'm seriously missing like 30 issues of the entire run of 150. And I'm going to review those and a bunch of X-Men stuff. Probably starting in 2023 will be X-Men. I'm going to try and do one video a day on X-Men. And maybe two. Plus other stuff, of course. But 2022 looks like it's going to be mostly Superman stuff. Because I got almost all of the Superman stuff from post-Crisis and some from Silver Age, all the way through when I stopped reading it when like McGinnis took over. I didn't like his art. They prefer to pander. Yeah, it's a write-off. They get to look woke. Tons of Dark Horse. Yeah, I like Dark Horse. They were harder to find where I lived, so I had to read a lot of those kind of sporadically. Spider-Man's used to have good villains with interesting motivations. Now it's just headline BS. Yep, it's all about the first. All about being woke. And that's lazy. It's really lazy, and it's worse, boring. Lazy could be entertaining. Boring is always unacceptable. So let's talk about Disney, because there's some interesting articles coming out. This one is from Bleeding Fool. Disney stock rankings. I'm sorry, Disney stocks tanking as Disney Plus streaming subs come up short. Disney, the world's largest entertainment company, said yesterday that its Disney Plus streaming service actually grew slower than planned in the most recent quarter, even as pandemic headwinds begin to bite the cinemas and keep more people at home. Disney Plus has 118 million users globally, but experts thought millions more would sign up, resulting in a shortfall that caused the entertainment conglomerate share price to fall in aftermarket dealings. On the earnings call, Disney company's CEO Bob Chapek told analysts that the 2-year-old service has experienced some major challenges in acquiring new series and films. Their output for new stuff is garbage. They had a golden opportunity during the pandemic to become the streaming service by putting out new content, and they didn't do it. They didn't seize upon that. They didn't release Black Widow on the streaming service when they had the chance. That they did, but they didn't. They had all this other films in the can from their acquisition at Fox. They didn't release any of that stuff. They just sat on it, hoping to make more money later down the line, and it cost Disney Plus. Plus, their price is comparable to Netflix, and they have less stuff, and they don't have anything really aimed at like mature audiences. You saw that the Predator movie is going to go over to Hulu instead of Disney Plus. You couldn't just create an adult section. Obviously, we are only in year 2 of the Disney Plus launch, and the hunger for content for the service is extraordinary. Yeah, because you have almost none. The newest thing we saw for a long time was WandaVision, and then you gave us that garbage Falcon and Winter Soldier bullshit. That was a bunch of race-baiting nonsense. Chapek said, and when you have that happen at the same time that you have a pandemic and you have to shut down production, that's not a good combination. That's an excuse, not a reason. Chapek also added that Disney has made great strides in reopening our businesses while taking meaningful and innovative steps in direct-to-consumer and our parks, particularly with our popular new Disney Genie and Magic Key offerings. Okay, let me address this because this is mealy-mouthed corporate talk. During the pandemic, the parks were shut down. That was always their fallback when they were trying to make money. The parks were the big money maker, and so were the cruise lines. With both of those shut down, and a lot of the film production shut down, it never fully shut down, mind you. It did hurt them considerably, but they still didn't dump any of the stuff they had on a regular basis onto Disney Plus. So they had all this stuff filmed and in the can, and they sat on it. Black Widow would have done better 2 years ago when they first finished it, but instead of going direct to Disney Plus and just paying off Scarlett Johansson, then they waited, and it did miserable. Same with Shang-Chi. Same with a bunch of other stuff they had already had done. This is them like, oh, well, things are picking up at the parks again. Yeah, but you're making excuses for your own failings. CNBC reported today that stocks fell to the worst day in over a year, plummeting 7%. That's actually really big for their stock. In what appears to be Disney's worst session since June 2020, after the media giant reported the subscriber growth slowdown in its streaming services. Yeah, it's been a slowdown since June of last year. So for about, a year and a couple of months, it's been really, really stagnating. And they put all their eggs into Disney Plus. They canceled a bunch of other stuff and went more toward Disney Plus, but they haven't actually gotten that much out there. You had The Mandalorian, you had WandaVision, you had a handful of things, and they don't even release all their old stuff. Like Song of the South's not on there because they're worried somebody will complain and whine. Like, grow the fuck up, start releasing more content people actually want to see. Following the pandemic caused production delays, Netflix has committed to considerably increasing its original content lineup, which will all be canceled after season 1. While disappointing growth at Disney Plus occurred as the firm simultaneously attempted to reestablish momentum in its tourism and theme park operations, which has also been harmed by the epidemic. They made a lot of missteps, too, by putting all their eggs in the Disney Plus basket and expecting the parks to pick up the slack. That did not work for them. While the studio's release of Mulan back in 2020 and Black Widow and Jungle Cruise this summer, cinemas and actors complained about the loss of revenue for them all. Yeah, of course they did. And Scarlett had to sue them because they fucked her over. If they had just been cooperative behind the scenes, it never would have become public. It made them look dumb. Some investors believe that Disney's contentious policy of releasing some films simultaneously in cinema and online with an extra fee for platform members is harming the company. It makes them look like assholes, especially because they want $30 to watch a movie. Fuck off. You could pirate it for free. I don't advocate that, but I fully understand people doing it. When you could pay $15 to see it in HD in the theater, or you could just pirate it. Why would you pay them $30 fucking to watch it on their streaming service and you don't even get to own it? You only rent it for like 30 days. It's a slap in the dick. Big commercial for other things. Too much of a storyline with that damn baby. Well, the kid was popular. And that was a big selling point for them. But they didn't capitalize on that because they're stupid. They didn't even have toys lined up. Just get Whoopi Goldberg do a blurb in front of the Song of the South to explain the historical context. She likes the film and does want to release. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing wrong with that movie. So you have a former slave telling stories to a white kid, and you're upset about that? Go fuck yourselves, you crybabies. History is what history is. You can't erase it by hiding it. Disney stock fell 4% by close of trading Wednesday, according to this week's report. Disney investors are disappointed with the average monthly revenue per Disney Plus subscriber falling by 9% year over year. The company blamed the decline on their offerings of cheaper subscriptions in some markets such as India and Indonesia. Yeah, you can effectively watch Disney Plus for like 65 cents in India. I don't think that's what the problem is. The problem is they don't have much content that's new. It's a bunch of recycled crap. If you don't have little kids, which is a very shrinking demographic these days. If you don't have little kids, then what's the point of Disney Plus for you? There's not that many diehard Disney people anymore because they keep jacking up the prices. In this conference call, they also said how they're shrinking portion size for their food at the resorts. And some of the stuff like at Disney World is like $25 for a hamburger. You can fuck right off with that. And now you want to make it smaller? Go fuck yourselves, you greedy pricks. Matt McGloin of Comic Book News reported that insiders are saying the studio is suffering from the woke direction of the properties. Yeah, it absolutely is. Quote, prior to the release of today's investor report, known Disney leaker WDW Pro via YouTube claimed Disney Plus subscriptions were stale and that Marvel is to blame, with the rumor offering that Disney is going to focus on building Disney Plus with its Star Wars brand, as The Mandalorian's been a huge success, which involves recent news of Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron getting shelved. So WDW Pro's info adds to the Disney investor report confirms subscriptions haven't been all that good and that Marvel hasn't been an impact. Yeah, because it's all woke shit. Falcon Winter Soldier was so fucking woke. So much crybaby, we're oppressed nonsense. It was lazy. Now we can also see Kevin Feige's woke approach to the replacement of original characters and or promotion of a politically correct agenda at the expense of those original characters, and the storyline is a big fail, which is simply proven by the numbers. I agree. Marvel's going the exact same route as Star Wars Last Jedi, as following the release of Last Jedi, interest in Star Wars and more importantly, dollars dropped, which, just like in today's report, played out all in Disney's investor reports following the Last Jedi release. Yeah, since they're replacing all the key characters, they're replacing Tony Stark with Ironheart. She's going to get her own show. Miss Marvel's coming in. We've got Falcon as the new Captain America, who backhanded his own friend in that final episode because he's not a blonde white guy. Fuck you, dude. Shitting all over Steve Rogers, who's supposedly your friend. Fucking asshole. All this woke shit just doesn't sell. People are bored with it. It comes off like propaganda. Hey, Godready. You would think to make the price smaller for fatty foods to trap people. Yeah. That used to be a big selling point was the food. And now it's smaller portions for more money. There was a kid we ate at McDonald's across the street from Disneyland, right? I bet that place does mad bank. You need to do better, Senator. Oh, God, that was so insulting. Yeah, Girl Hawkeye. That show looks like dog shit, too. She's better than Hawkeye. So she's real Hawkeye. Disneyland charged $8 for a fountain drink. It was $2 refills, max of 3 refills. Yep. Yeah, it's a big scam. And they know it. And they don't care because they think you're stupid. And apparently they think you have bottomless dollars. They're like, we got to milk the rubes a little more. But we're not done bitching about Disney just yet. Because there's a couple more articles I want to complain about. So let's go over to Cosmic Book News since it was referenced. Wall Street skeptical of Marvel, Star Wars as Disney stock drops again. This is going to cover some of the same material. Confirming what I told you yesterday, following another drop in Disney stock, now Wall Street analysts are doubting the streaming service and are skeptical of both Marvel and Star Wars. Yesterday saw Disney release its Q4 quarterly... Sorry. I don't know why I'm fucking up today. Yesterday saw Disney release its Q4 investor report, where the amount of Disney Plus subscribers didn't live up to expectations, which saw the stock drop. WDW Pros insider information. Marvel is not growing Disney Plus, which is evident by the fact that both Black Widow and What If were released during Q4, and the amount of subscriber growth saw a sharp decline during the fiscal fourth quarter. Yeah, because people saw this stuff and they're like, what is this trash? Today, Deadline reports on how Disney stock continues to drop, down over 7%, where Wall Street analysts are skeptical of the Disney Plus streaming service and its Marvel and Star Wars brand abilities to get new subscribers. Note bold is his own notation. We wonder if Disney Plus is too narrow a product and requires much greater investment in non-Disney content to widen out the product's appeal, said MoffettNathanson analysts. The admission that Disney Plus growth will re-accelerate when content spending re-accelerates is consistent with the recent experience at Netflix, where the growth slumber created by the pandemic's pull forward of subscribers was finally shattered by record amounts of new content dropped in the last few months of this year. Taken together, this reality brings back to the Warren Buffett quote above that he used to describe the airline industry, but we think applies to streaming as well. The worst sort of business is one that grows rapidly, requires significant capital to engender the growth, then earns little or no money. Doug Kreutz of Cohen, an American multinational independent investment bank and financial services company, added the following about Marvel and Star Wars. We remain somewhat skeptical that more Star Wars, Marvel, animated family content will be sufficient to grow Disney Plus audience out to parity with Netflix. I don't think they're going to reach parity because they just aren't producing enough. They didn't have anything banked that they were going to show. They wanted to save it all for later. They dribbed and drabbed stuff out once a week instead of dumping it all or dumping more content. They're actually doing 2 episodes of Hawkeye out the gate this time, which is more in line with Amazon. We talked about that last week. But this is just them being lazy and being greedy. They don't want to put a bunch of content out because they don't think that will keep you interested. But then they would have a bigger catalog because their catalog sucked balls when it first came out. Disney needs quality Marvel and Star Wars content. Regarding Marvel, we can also add the release of Black Widow and Disney Plus also did nothing to bolster the number of subscribers, as Disney let it be known that less than 2% of subscribers paid the additional $30 to watch the film, and recently saw the box office for Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Eternals tank big time, with the latter the worst MCU movie of all time at box office and among critics and fans. And they're still talking about making a sequel. WDW Pro did offer up that Disney wants to focus on its Star Wars brand, as Disney is said to be extremely happy with the reception of Boba Fett, but I think the issue regarding Star Wars is that there just isn't enough content. Yeah, I liked a lot of the Star Wars stuff they did with Mandalorian. I didn't watch that Bad Batch that looked fucking dumb. But I know some of you guys didn't like it, but I did. And I'm looking forward to the Boba Fett stuff. But again, firing Gina Carano is probably going to kill Mandalorian in season 3. Where those sub companies, they fired everybody, Spittlebuggy. Oh, okay. Have fun, St. Fugi. Get rid of the vault. Stupid. It absolutely is. It was just a way for them to put stuff away and then charge more money if they did re-release it later down the line. They should be releasing everything because that gives them a lot more stuff people want to watch. She was a huge part of it. She was a very popular character. And I think firing her actually hurt The Mandalorian quite a bit. Bad Batch was okay. Looking for season 2. Oh, okay. I didn't watch it. It looked fucking dumb, and I hated the art style. But I'm old, so anime people that are younger really like that stuff. PG movies, though. Well, the PG movies do still sell, and Disney owns a lot of stuff. Like they own New Line Cinema, they own Fox, they have all that stuff they could be putting out. And instead of putting an adult section and labeling it that way on Disney Plus, they're dumping it on Hulu or just not releasing it in the streaming. And I think that is hurting them because that money that they paid for Fox is coming due. They paid out an assload of money for Fox Studios and Lucasfilm, and it hasn't really earned its keep because they're doing garbage products and they're not releasing the old catalogs that they have access to. The major problem I see with Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars is that it continues to put out content that fans don't like. Yep. And tick off fans, firing Gina Carano. No matter what they do, Disney Plus subscribership won't grow. Yeah, as long as they're doing woke crap and making garbage content, it's not going to do any better. Disney is playing the long game, but they're not doing it well. They're doing what are effectively Hail Marys and cash grabs, and that's a sign of a bad company or a dying company. I think they're too big and unwieldy to change quickly, and they're unwilling to get rid of hacks like Kathleen Kennedy who are making this woke trash. So instead of getting rid of that, they're just dumping crap. Oh, they are scare rated R because they think it'll scare people away. Hey, Jordan, how you doing? 15 rooms worth of towel sets. Oh, that sounds awful. Well, have fun, TOS. I'm glad you're here. She's supposed to lay the foundation work, not fuck it all up. Yeah. Yeah, but they want to get messaging in because they're ham-fisted and lazy. But there may be some internal strife. Let's take a look at another Cosmic Book News article talking about this. Marvel crumbling. Disney's Bob Chapek rejects Kevin Feige's woke approach. I'm treating this as rumor, by the way. It's claimed that the head of Disney, Bob Chapek, is butting heads with the head of Marvel, Kevin Feige, over the woke approach to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This rumor, of course, comes from Doomcock. So it is a rumor. I don't know how much I trust Doomcock because he's been preaching this stuff for a while, and Disney and Marvel haven't changed. So if they were really having these problems, Chapek could fire Kevin Feige or reduce his role quietly. But we haven't seen any of this stuff going away. It's just getting worse. Who previously offered up information problems surrounding Captain Marvel and Brie Larson. Feige brought in 2 new actresses and characters to star alongside Larson, who appeared to be trying to rebuild her image. Yeah, but I think it's just doubling down on more woke. Like, oh, well, let's just get a black girl and a Muslim in, and then everything will be peachy keen. Then the bucks will come rolling in. Doomcock has also gone in depth about the problems surrounding Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars. Just today, it was learned that Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie has been delayed indefinitely, which is among a host of previous problems with the franchise. Yeah, she's an okay director. She does better directing other people's scripts, too. Like we saw with the first Wonder Woman movie, not her script. She only directed it. When she did her own script for 1984, it was dog shit. The following information was also released prior to this weekend that Feige's Eternals movie had underperformed at the box office. It is the second worst opening for an MCU movie, which follows both Shang-Chi and Black Widow underperforming as well. They're spending too much money on these movies that are way too risky of properties. Shang-Chi is borderline unknown. Eternals is even more unknown. And they're dumping $100 million into that? What are you, high? Make that a $50 million movie, hire a bunch of unknowns, and make it then. Then it would be at least on par film. Because most of your budget's going to Angelina Jolie and a bunch of other big names. As I wrote 2 years ago, Feige's woke approach is going to destroy the MCU. Yeah, we all said that. And according to this rumor and the box office receipts, that's exactly what's happening, which has seen Disney CEO Bob Chapek react, who is now feuding with Feige over Feige's ideas to destroy and replace the original Marvel characters with new versions of characters. They're going and dipping their ink in, or their wick in the worst ink well they can to try and write these films. Nobody liked the 2017 Marvel stuff or the 2015 stuff. It tanked and it ran a lot of people out of the comics. Why would you think it would work in film? Evidence of Kevin Feige's agenda can be seen in the Captain Marvel movie, where classic comic book characters were replaced with woke versions, and where the film takes an obvious anti-male approach to things, while at the same time retconning the history of the MCU to inject that woke content. Yeah, we saw that with Marvel being replaced by an old lady. Further evidence comes from how both Hulk and Thor were used in the Avengers Endgame, which saw Hulk and Thor becoming goofy, lesser versions of their previous stronger selves, with rumors also offering Banner can no longer transform into the Hulk in the She-Hulk Disney Plus series. She-Hulk replaces Hulk. Yep, we all knew that was coming. Renner gets replaced as Hawkeye in the Disney Plus series, and of course, Thor 4 features Natalie Portman as Girl Thor. We can also add that in Black Widow, Natasha was made fun of and made to look bad by her replacement character, Florence Pugh's Yelena. I actually give that one a bit of a slack because the character was kind of jokey. I thought she did a really good job, though, Florence Pugh. I thought she was better in that movie than Scarlett Jo Moonface. Also recall how Marvel producer Victoria Alonso, whom Feige just promoted, is against using the title X-Men simply because it contains the word men. There is a link there. How Doctor Strange was dropped from WandaVision because he's white, and how Robert Downey Jr. and the Avengers actors and characters won't be used in Black Widow because they're male. All these people are getting replaced. Every single one of them. It sounds like Thor is probably not going to have another movie after this, and if he does, he's going to be sidelined because Girl Thor. They're dumping a bunch of money in Natalie Portman's pocket to make her Girl Thor. It's going to be fucking dumb. Doomcock claims a high-level source says Disney CEO Bob Chapek and head of Marvel Kevin Feige are feuding, and that the following leak may have actually been sanctioned by some high-level person within the Disney organization. That wouldn't surprise me. We've seen that before. Where we can guess the source is apparently unhappy with Feige and the current state of Marvel, possibly a Disney investor. This source confirms as well that Bob Chapek may have had it with the whole wokeness thing, particularly when going woke means going broke, says Doomcock. About a year ago, the Walt Disney Board was holding a meeting. This was about the time when Bob Iger was still attending meetings, and of course, Bob Chapek was there as well. And they are getting pitches on upcoming shows and development updates and whatnot. Things are moving along, and when it got to be Feige's turn, he started his spiel during his presentation. Bob Chapek interjected and asked Feige, so now that you killed Iron Man off, who are you going to replace Iron Man with, and when are they going to replace him exactly? Kevin looked at him in a moment and then replied that he was going to replace Tony Stark with Riri Williams. To Kevin's shock, Bob Chapek knew who Riri Williams was and how badly her comic run had done. Okay, that's interesting if that's true. Regarding the comics, the last 10 years or so, most likely to sync up them with Feige's woke plans for the MCU. Marvel Comics replaced original characters. Yeah, we all know that. Chapek expressed skepticism about the move to replace a proven successful character with one that couldn't even sustain a series past 12 issues. According to my source, Feige was surprised that Chapek knew the score. Feige essentially told Chapek, don't worry about it, I can make it work, but this was not the end of the discussion. You can't make it work. She could have been an interesting character if she developed her own armor, but she just stole his and claimed it was hers. They tried to fix that in her own series where she got some alien tech, whatever. She still stole armor, not only from Tony Stark, but also some aliens. And she's still smarter. She's the smartest ever compared to Tony Stark. And Moon Girl's smarter than Reed Richards because he's just an evil white man. Doomcock goes on to claim that is when Bob Chapek and Kevin Feige begin to butt heads because they began to argue over Riri Williams as a big loser to invest in, as Feige's big plans involving Riri Williams as a replacement for Stark and Iron Man, and argued about Star Wars and what was happening to that franchise. Yeah, that is a good bellwether. They also argued over Feige's stating using such characters as Riri and Kamala Khan is more economical than using characters like Iron Man and Captain America. And when questioned about Feige and his arrogance, said it's because him and Marvel, it will work. But again, the box office for Shang-Chi and Eternal suggests otherwise. So Feige was trying to pitch this kind of crap, hoping that Disney board was... I'm not going to read this whole fucking thing. It's just Doomcock's video. Yeah, effectively what Feige is doing is huffing his own farts, saying, well, look at what I have built. And then you're going to knock it all down and replace it with a bunch of shit characters that nobody knows about or cares about. And the few people that know about them didn't like them. That's fucking arrogant as hell, and it's really, really dumb. You are gambling with a lot of Disney's money here. You're a franchise killer if you do this. So I could understand, because Chapek is supposed to be a numbers guy, that he's seen how the iconic characters are being replaced instead of recast, and it's probably going to cost them a lot of money. Oh, Batwoman, great. Yep. Portman at store is okay, especially if she does a Black Swan. Riri sounds like you're calling a retard. Yeah, years ago, a buddy of mine used to use the word Riri and Momo, and Riri meant retarded, and Momo meant somebody specifically with Down syndrome. So I don't think calling her Riri was a terribly good idea. Why was I more entertained last week when babysitting watching PJ Masks than I get from Marvel now? Because they're trying harder. They will like what I tell them to like. Exactly. All right. Time to do shameless self-promotion again. Remember, you could donate if you're watching the replay, or you could go to the merch store and buy something. So, yep, someday I'll get enough subscribers I could get super chats. Bob Chapek doesn't want Iron Man to be another Last Jedi. Too late, you're already working on it. Regarding Star Wars, it's further claimed that Bob Chapek is dead set against Feige ruining the Marvel characters, similar to how Star Wars ruined Luke Skywalker. Well, they already killed him off. They can always bring him back with a different actor. And I've said this before. If they really want to salvage this, they'll do Secret Wars. And they'll say that all the characters that we thought were dead were actually whisked away to Battle World. You just recast the actors and have them playing those characters, and everybody treats it as perfectly normal. Just like they do in the James Bond movies when somebody else becomes James Bond. They never say, oh, you're the 5th James Bond. No, you're still just James Bond. They think that people watching these movies are fucking dumb. They think you're stupid. They think you'll buy whatever they're throwing out there. And Kevin Feige is way too arrogant. Yeah, you're not wrong, BG. So, yeah, if this is true, which I don't know if it is or not, but it wouldn't surprise me if these two are button heads, because the Marvel stuff has been failing, and it's because they're overpaying for mediocrity. Black Widow was a C- movie with a AAA budget, and it just isn't working. Eternals is going to cost them a ton of money, especially because China's not showing it. I don't know why they keep putting their eggs in the Chinese basket and trying to pander to them, but Mulan has failed, Eternals has failed, Shang-Chi has failed, Black Widow's failed. They have to figure something out because they're not making the money they thought they were going to. And Kevin Feige is doing a lot of this with this garbage woke agenda. Falcon Winter Soldier was a big part of that. Robert Downey Jr. is too old, and they can't afford him. So what they're going to end up doing is probably something else entirely. They're going to have to replace him. Get a cheaper actor who's got the same kind of look. He doesn't have to be as jokey. But they're making a lot of obvious lazy mistakes. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. That helps. I'm smart. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. All right, let's jump over to Screen Rant. Marvel's new Iron Fist will be Asian. Of course he will. We kind of talked about this last time. Alyssa Wong is writing him, and she does not seem to like white people too much. Potential spoilers for Iron Fist 1 that nobody's going to buy. Marvel Comics has revealed the next hero to be Iron Fist will be of Asian descent because God forbid a white man know martial arts. In a new interview, Iron Fist #1 writer Alyssa Wong shared that the yet-to-be-revealed hero behind the mask will be of Asian heritage. For those wondering, Iron Man's legacy is about to be erased. Iron Fist Legacy, sorry. Wong says, no fear, as the comics will build on the hero's complicated past and build toward a new future. Iron Fist premiered in Marvel 15 by Roy Thomas, Gil Kane, and Bill Everett. The hero was created as a martial arts pop culture craze in the 70s. It's where we got Shang-Chi and a bunch of other stuff, too. Alyssa Wong and artist Michael YG will tackle the all-new Iron Fist in a self-titled miniseries revealed recently by Marvel Comics. In an interview with IGN, Wong said she was excited to be writing an Asian Iron Fist, sharing that the character represents a new legacy while not erasing the previous version of the hero's own past. But you're going to anyway, aren't you? Wong said that the new Iron Fist would look at becoming a hero in a new era, a woke era. She said she hoped the new character will speak to those who loved the original, but also to folks who never read an Iron Fist comic but are aching to see a character they can relate to. Fuck off. You don't think Asians can relate to white people? That's racist. Wong revealed that the new Iron Fist has taken an unorthodox path to gain the mantle, which doesn't please those on Kunlun. She teased that his fighting style is more acrobatic and his powers are strange. That he's not really Iron Fist, is he? Because acrobatics is not a martial art. Well, Danny Rand will be giving up the role of Iron Fist. He'll still play a role in the upcoming miniseries as Bitch Boy. He's just going to be like, I was the old Iron Fist, and I never knew what I was doing. You're so much better at it. Ugh. We've gotten some hints. Nobody cares about this new character. This book's going to suck fucking ass. It's going to be a bunch of Asian stereotypes because only Asians can do martial arts. This is lazy replacements. Marvel never gave up on replacing characters. They just toned it down and brought the legacy characters back to appease fans and shut them up so they could find new ways to do it. It's fucking dumb. This actually really pisses me off because they were so unsubtle about it in the Iron Fist Hearts miniseries. It was just a big slap in the dick. But we mentioned Roy Thomas. So let's read a little article about him. They were smart. They would do Weird Wars in or buy into SCP, the Foundation. They'll never do that. White, red, curly-headed Asian. What's wrong with Danny? He's too white. White people can't do martial arts. That's the thinking. That's why they made Snake Eyes Asian when he used to be a white blonde guy. We can't have evil blonde white guys. They do need the star power back, but they're not going to recast those guys. They cost too much. Robert Downey Jr. cost them $50 million last time. That's half the budget. See Fust in the Contagion mini. Yeah, Contagion was a good miniseries. It was pretty good. Iron Fist is a good character. They just choose to shit on him because he's white. Is all I can tell. They don't want a white guy having a power from an Asian city that was granted by dragons. They think only Asians can do that for some reason, which is pretty much the definition of racism, in my opinion. All right, from Bleeding Fool, comics legend Roy Thomas addresses race and gender swapping superheroes. He's looking old. Veteran writer-editor Roy Thomas, who discussed his career as it was since he originally began in the mid to late 60s. Some of the topics brought up include the following. You've been in the business longer than most. Is there an urban legend you think that needs to be put to bed or course corrected a little bit? And he responded, well, you hear everything. Stan was a guy who liked credits, so maybe he sometimes forgot to mention other people. And then out of that comes the legend that he was always going around hogging credit from everyone else. There's some truth in it, but there's not a lot of truth in it. There's a lot of bull, too. Blah, blah. This doesn't really affect what we're reading about. You mentioned Wolverine. You mentioned Ghost Rider. Something else you created that overlooked. Red Wolf, yeah. Oh. If you can't do Iron Man, okay, so do War Machine and paint him red or something. There's all kinds of ways you could do it. You could even start calling him Iron Man. And you don't have to change his race or sex or something else. Just hire a new actor like James Bond, from Sean Connery to Daniel Craig. What I just said. And 7 or 8 people in between. I just think Marvel's missing a bet if they're totally locked into the idea that once one actor quits being a character, you can't ever use that character again. Of course, that's one advantage the comics always had over the movies. They're not tied to a particular actor. They're not tied into a particular artist or a particular writer. The characters can go on forever. That's one thing that makes comics a much more flexible medium. You have a limited budget, and you can kind of keep the characters however you want. Okay, we're going to go back up a little bit. I want to see more of the Vision. I don't care if he's green or white or whatever color. I think they didn't do enough with the Vision. I agree with that. Of course, bring back Wolverine, and you get over this idea that the only person that can play Captain America, Iron Man, good as they were, and they were great, nobody ever really thought before 2008 that one actor particularly could play Iron Man and nobody else. How many James Bonds have there been? Somehow the series has managed to survive and thrive now for almost exactly 60 years. I mean, sure, it's a little hard, but you could find a way to have a new Captain America that was even Steve Rogers or somebody else. I mean, I'm not against the Falcon, say, becoming Captain America, but you don't have to automatically go that kind of route. There's all kinds of routes you could go. The Falcon's better as his own character. That's the thing. They're actually making these characters look inferior because they can't succeed on their own, is what they're saying. You need to assume a white man's mantle for that. They're hand-me-downs. And that's a huge dick slap to all these actors. Since he alluded to the subject, I wonder what he thinks of the sad but now entirely unsurprising race swapping of Iron Fist Danny Rand with a character who's Asian. The past few years, Thomas's creation, along with Thomas himself, came under fire for not being created according to the PC dictates of modernity, and that he should have been more open about how damagingly petty this all is. Thomas did mention, however, a storytelling approach that did cause damage to much of the mainstream. He said, I hope they find a way to find the comic book, whether it's little pamphlets that are 32 pages, 36 with the covers, or whether it's in graphic novels or whatever. I'm kind of a print freak, and I don't want those comics to die. I agree, I am too. I don't read them that much anymore, but I love the farm, and I don't want to see them go out as if you had to tie that particular actor to some kind of animation movie. I want to see pictures that people draw and follow the whole thing, and you take the time flow at your rate by depending on the speed by which you read the story, and you can stop and go over it again. That's a whole different experience from seeing a movie. Comic books are not just movies put on paper, and they should not try to be. Tell that to artists, writers, and artisans, which I think they increasingly are to their detriment. I completely agree with that. And we noticed that with a lot of the comics out now, read like just storyboards for movies. And it's a shame, but it's obvious it hasn't brought in any moviegoers who are surely expecting something different, yet in the end, all they get is something trying to be almost wholly the same as that other specific medium, even though it's not. They also discussed wages and residuals, which we've discussed that before. So it doesn't sound like he's entirely opposed to race swapping, but just recast somebody. It's so much better. Make new, interesting characters, but you can't do that because you're devoid of any kind of intellectual capabilities. They're all bankrupt creatively. If I had Disney cash, I would be evil and buy out SCP's site and update TOS that all SCP are rights of Disney if they let the original author keeps rights. Boom, shit tons of better characters. Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't done that, actually. Kid, another character that was in their 30s, and ended up with the kid reaching 18, but other characters are still in their 30s. Comic book timeline. Yeah, Robin grew up, Batman's in. Well, yeah, Batman was supposed to be perpetually around this. Like, Superman's a better example. The Silver Age, he was perpetually 28 years old. A lot of people don't know that. They think he was older, but he was actually only about 28. And they mentioned it in, what was it, Action Comics 499? Because there's a thing going on, or 498, that only affects people over 30, and he's not over 30. And they mentioned that he's about 28. And same with Batman. He was supposed to be perpetually between 28 and 35. And remember, he did adopt Dick Grayson when Dick was like 14. 12 or 14. So if you assume that he was 28 when he adopted Grayson, then he's 35 now. So that's been 7 years or so. They've kind of established that the DCU is about 10 years old perpetually. Same with Marvel. It's usually a 10-year timeline. So if you go by that, then Dick Grayson would have aged out and they can make room for another character, but they are very fungible with those numbers. Yeah, they go to see a muscle-bound Australian. You're not wrong, Evil One. And when Hemsworth ages out or decides he doesn't want to do it anymore, they'll find some other big muscular dude. They don't have to make girl Thor. Dick being 9. Yeah, they change it a lot depending on the medium. All right. Let's talk about DC for a minute. Go over to Screen Rant here. DC's next Joker revealed a new look at DC villain. This is from Future State Gotham. That's Joker. There you go. DC Comics has revealed a brand new look at the next Joker, and he's a big threat for the Future State universe. Dennis Culver shared a character design page for the DC's next Joker by artist Nicola something, which showcases the new villain's design and how frighteningly big the character will be in Future State Gotham number 8. In this series, Jason Todd has taken on the role of Peacekeeper Red as part of the Magistrate's fight against mass vigilantes. Todd was instructed to take down the next Batman, who of course is better than him because he's black, who was being framed for an explosion that left many dead in Gotham City. However, instead of taking down the Batman, Peacekeeper Red teamed up with the new Dark Knight to take down Warmonger, a terrorist within Gotham who's actually responsible for the deadly attacks. Additionally, the latest issue revealed Hush is playing a role in the behind-the-scenes chaos and hints at a new Joker emerging. Now readers will have a closer look at the new Joker. There he is. Look at that totally original design of a checkerboard floor pattern with gloves and a flaming head. He looks like the dude from Twisted Metal, only lazier. It looks like an 8-year-old drew this. There's Red Hood right there. This whole Future State thing is so trash. And it's become like I told you it was going to happen. Future State was 5G repackaged, and they're just replacing all the characters. Bruce Wayne is off doing something else. They're talking about new things with Superman, which we'll get to shortly. No spoilers. That's the new Joker. That's next Joker. That's Joker for a modern era. That's worse than Tumblr art, St. Fugi. Looks like Bane, only stupid. Yeah, this is lazy cosplay is what this is. It doesn't even really look like a Harlequin outfit, which Harlequins are different than clowns, in case the artist here didn't fucking know that. Yeah, here's a silhouette of the Red Hood. So Red Hood's about 6 foot tall, and this guy's like 8 foot tall, but that makes him scarier because he's big and looks like a Steven Universe character. Ugh, so lazy. DC is fucking garbage. DC has previously teased the arrival of the next Joker, as after Harley Quinn captured Punchline in Future State Gotham number 4, the villain warned her of the arrival of the next Joker. Punchline told Harley that when he gets here, we're all going to wish we were dead instead. It was quite the tantalizing tease for the new villain. Yay. As for now, readers don't know much about the next Joker other than that he looks like and how dangerous he could be. Generically scary. It'll be fascinating to see how DC Comics implements new Joker in Future State. No, well, it'll be fucking boring. Now the story ultimately affects the Red Hood and the next Batman. The next Batman is trash. Jason Ridley is writing it, and I'm 90% sure Jason Ridley has a lot of weird race issues. He wrote the other history of the DC universe, and it was fucking dumb. It was more race baiting. That dude wishes he lived in the civil rights era in the South. He has a lot of issues, and it's fucking bullshit. Oh, hold on. Hold on, I just saw this on the side. Afrofuturism comes to the Pacific Northwest in Boom Studios Buckhead. Because that's what's lacking in the Pacific Northwest is in between your Antifa riots, you could run down to the comic shop and get some Afrofuturism. Fucking stupid shit. I'm not buying that crap. Even if it was free, I wouldn't read it. You know, it's bad when Cal art style's better, right? Took to Twitter and found true chaos. You're not wrong, Kevin. These Superman. We'll get to it, Raymond. Don't jump ahead. I said no spoilers. Yeah, you can't just have futurism anymore. You can't be a futurist. You have to be an Afrofuturist because that's not racist at all. All right. DC reveals a twisted new generation of villains, which are all going to be lazy knockoffs. This is from comicbook.com. DC's Rogues Gallery is one of the most famous of the entire comic genre, with foes like the Joker, Penguin, Lex Luthor, Deathstroke, and even the Riddler all becoming mainstream figures. Well, we're getting some new ones. In Joker, Chapter 15, The Monster Maker, Gordon and the new female Bane, yeah, you read that right, the new female Bane, Vengeance, track Joker to the island of Majorca. It's there they find the Mad Clown with one of Dr. Frederick Baum, whose mansion home Joker is wired to explode. Baum demonstrates his power and authority pretty concisely when he makes Vengeance fall unconscious by simply speaking in a three-word sequence. Joker's whole gig is getting Gordon himself and Dr. Baum alone in order for Gordon to have to learn the mad scientist's truth. Tinian's Joker series has introduced the network, a clandestine cabal of wealthy, powerful people who could provide services to criminals and supervillains, such as hiding them in luxury remote mansions in between capers. However, Dr. Baum's role in the network is the stuff of true nightmare fuel. Now, the Joker series isn't bad. It's just $6, and I'm not paying that for a regular comic book. The Mad Doctor, because you can get the trades cheaper, effectively. The Mad Doctor's monologue to Joker, and Gordon reveals that he is a geneticist who was originally paid to grow cloned body doubles for underworld criminals looking to fake their own deaths and or take on new identities. However, Baum's work was so good that the wealthy elite began to find more uses for his talents, such as growing human meat for consumption by rich people bored with conventional menus. Baum's point is simple. His inclusion in the network puts him above the law at the service of people with unthinkable whims. One of those whims is going to turn Baum's world upside down because Gordon learns that someone has been paying the Doctor to clone the Cape Crusaders' enemies. The horror reveal. Oh my god, yay. So we get failed Joker clones. Oh, the art's really taken a step down, hasn't it? Look at that. Obviously, the Joker won't sit back and take this. Joker clones, because we didn't need a clone saga. We needed a Joker clone saga. Didn't see that coming, did you? Make me a sandwich. That's 4 words technically. Make sandwich, bitch. Yeah, they made a girl Bane, and that was really dumb and lazy, but everything is these days. All right, let's talk about Archie for a second. Bounding Into Comics had this article, and I needed to share it because Netflix announces live-action musical film adaptation of the Archies set in 1960s India. In one of the most unique takes on classic Western comic book seen in some time, a live-action musical adaptation of the Archies, the fictional bubblegum pop band composed of characters from Archie comics, set in 1960s India, is currently in production at Netflix, because it's not woke enough. As first reported by Variety on November 10th, the film would be directed by somebody whose name I can't pronounce, produced by another name I can't pronounce, and Graphic India's that guy. Graphic India had some cool comic ideas that just never really took off for some reason. I'm super excited to have this chance to bring the Archies to life. Akhtar told the trade outlet, "It was a large part of my childhood and teenage years. The characters are iconic and globally loved, which is also why I'm a little nervous. I have to make sure the film stokes the nostalgia of a generation that grew up with the comic and yet resonates with young adults today." In a separate statement, Archie Comics CEO and publisher John Goldwater asserted that it's a huge source of pride that the Archie Comics characters and stories resonate with fans globally, and especially in India for more than 50 years. We are thrilled to partner with Netflix and trust Zoya Akhtar and her creative team to deliver a truly unique and exciting take on Archie and Friends through the lens of Indian cinema. Get ready for Bollywood dance numbers. We know that these characters have global appeal, and translating them into other settings and cultures is just the start of what we have planned for future multimedia adaptations. Now, an Archie Bollywood dance number might not be that bad, but I don't have a lot of faith in this. Speaking on behalf of Netflix India Director of Films and Licensing, somebody I can't pronounce, explained to Variety, the characters' adventures and friendships in Archie's have found fans across the world for generations. With Archie Comics Graphics India and Tiger Baby, we have an extraordinary opportunity to create the world of Archie Comics, this time as a live-action musical. This did work with Josie and the Pussycats, but I don't know how well this is going to work. Zoya has an incredible and unique ability to make stories and characters in them relatable, making them feel like they're an extension of our own self. We are thrilled to partner with her in bringing to life the world of Archie around the world. Don't forget, Riverdale's been very popular still in the Sabrina show. They tried doing a Riverdale TV movie. It had Lauren Holly in it for some reason. This was like, they're grown up. It was fucking stupid. They're not releasing the plot and casting, but I would be willing to bet they're going to race swap every single character and make this as stereotypically Indian as possible. So instead of the band is on tour with the original characters that you know and love, it's going to be a race swapped Bollywood film, and it's going to come off as shameless pandering. Funny bad CGI, probably. Bollywood Archie does sound funny. See, if they took the white characters and had them in Bollywood dance numbers that spontaneously broke out, I'd think it was funny, and it would probably be entertaining. But they're going to race swap everybody. They're going to have somebody be gay, and all the new stuff. That's what they mean by the modern generation or anything like that. They mean it's going to be super fucking woke. Let's make fun of Alec Baldwin for a minute. This comes from Stylecaster. Alec Baldwin is officially in legal trouble after fatally shooting his cinematographer. Legal woes. Alec Baldwin is being sued after he accidentally shot and killed cinematographer Halen Hutchins with a loaded prop gun on the set of his upcoming movie Rust in October 2021. Serge Saventoy, the chief electrician on Rust, sued Baldwin, as well as armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed, assistant director David Halls, and others for negligence due to the tragedy, which also injured director Joel Souza. According to the court documents obtained by Entertainment Tonight, Saventoy claims that the defendant's negligence caused him severe emotional distress after the incident. Saventoy also alleged that the bullet that struck Hitchens and Souza also hit him as well. He also claimed he was the person who was by Hutchins' side and to keep her conscious after she was shot. That would severely emotionally distress some people. Granted, it's pretty disturbing to see that sort of thing. The docs, Saventoy explained that he included Baldwin in the lawsuit because the actor who stars in and produces Rust owned a duty to the plaintiff and other crew members and actors on the Rust set to handle the Colt revolver provided by him by defendant Halls with reasonable care and diligence for the safety of Rust and crew. This duty called for defendant Baldwin to double check the Colt revolver and with Halls upon being handled to ensue that it did not contain live ammunition. This duty further called for him, Baldwin, to handle the Colt revolver as if it was loaded to refrain from pointing at anyone. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of lawsuits coming out of this, and it wouldn't surprise me if her husband sues as well. And rumor had it for a little while, I don't know if it's true, that the armorer is also suing him. So I think we're going to see a lot of lawsuits coming out of this. Play instruments or at least fake it. Yeah, if you can't fake it, what are you doing? How do we know this was an accident? I don't think they finished the investigation. Oh, thank you, God Ratty. Thought you'd like this. Shut up, my baby. That ate a lot of popcorn. Ah, that's funny. I don't think I can show that on stream, but I will put that on Twitter. Ah, that's funny as shit. Thanks for the donation, man. Hey, Giovanni. The phrase that kills projects. We are happy to partner with Netflix, right? Netflix has all these weird rules, and one of them is you have to have a certain percentage of people of color. So that's why I think they're going to do a bunch of race swapping. But I think Alec Baldwin is going to face a lot of lawsuits. I don't know how well insured this movie was, but yeah, he's going to get hit with a lot of lawsuits. Probably going to cost him an assload of money. All right, let's talk about that Superman story that's going to piss everybody off again, I think. It's kind of pissed me off. Bounding into comics, DC possibly repeating the death of Superman to make Jonathan Kent the permanent replacement for Clark. And watch sales tank. According to recent speculation, all the drama surrounding the new de facto Superman, Jonathan Kent, may be part of a bigger plan by DC to have the fledgling hero replace his father as a standard bearer via a repeat of the death of Superman. Now, everybody knew the death of Superman in the 90s was an event, and they were going to bring Clark Kent back, and they did very quickly. So this time, I'm not so sure. The way DC's going, I think this could be the final nail in their coffin to destroying Superman. As Games Radar points out, DC looks like they've been telegraphing this replacement since March's Superman 29. In this issue, Clark and Jonathan help seal an energy leak at Star Labs, evidently opened by Amanda Waller, who is trying to test the former's vulnerabilities, pouring forth an interdimensional breach. Soon after, the two discovered that the energy appears to have weakened Clark while leaving Jonathan unaffected. Because he's so much better, you guys, because he's got super gay powers. Waller and threat assessment go hand in glove, so the leak may have been an experiment on her part and nothing more. However, it appears more complicated than that. The rub is that Jonathan told his father he learned he was going to die, yet again, I suppose, when he visited the Legion of Superheroes in their time, thinking the Legion's historical records were referring to the breach they stopped, the crisis is averted. And then they hug because, that father-son moment. That is until Mongol and War World entered the picture, and Superman and the Authority, he and his newly assembled team had to go to space to put the Mad Warlord, stop the Mad Warlord once for all. He looks like garbage here. That's shit art. They came to blows, and of course, after one pivotal battle, Mongol remarks Kal-El is dying, either because he notices something off, or simply because he believes this to placate himself as an inverted foe. But when you look at DC and Superman and Action Comics writer Philip Kennedy Johnson's tease for the War saga, this is all part of, they really lean into the fact next year's the 30th anniversary of the most famous and fateful story in the Kryptonians' long history. For example, DC really can't get enough of invoking Doomsday in the preview for Action Comics 1036, which kicks off the War saga. It'll likely be Superman's most challenging battle since he first crossed with Doomsday, they warn, and it's one that the future visiting John has warned he won't survive. We weren't kidding about the Doomsday comparison, folks. I don't know why they insist on putting the Authority characters in the DCU. They are better as alternate universe characters. DC considers it the biggest Superman event in decades. Johnson agrees, having said as much from the get-go about how it will change the status quo of the DC universe. It's no exaggeration to say it will change Superman's status quo forever and will have a lasting impact across the entire DCU. Stay tuned, you will not want to miss what's coming. They're going to kill him. They got to have big gay Superman be the Superman. Factor in the facts that have changed the Man of Steel's motto for truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. Jonathan Kent is Earth's resident Superman. while Clark is off-world and that DC wants elements they can copyright, according to Ethan Van Sciver. It looks like they're gearing up for a major shift in the super status, whether they kill Clark off again or not. I think they're definitely going to sideline him. That's obvious because the World Saga is supposed to go through 2022. He's sidelined in one of the books, and Jonathan is the one in the main DCU. And much like what they're doing with Batman by setting him off, it's a lazy sleight of hand to try and get you to focus on the brand new, super awesome characters they totally own that are super original. As many corners of cutting on Rust, kind of doubt it was enough. More experienced armor would turn it down. Yeah. Wait, can't Superman go very fast and change time? No, they got rid of that power in the Silver Age. He can't change time anymore. And he's really not more powerful. He's just better at everything. Yeah, why are we losing money? So I do think they are going to kill off Superman. But at the very minimum, they're going to sideline him, like put him in the Phantom Zone or Lost in Space or some stupid shit like that. So this is not a surprise. They've been building up to replacing the original evil white characters with brand new angels of color because that's how they think. They think in very racialized and sexualized terms because it's PC nonsense. They're turning DC Comics, like Marvel, into secular chick tracks. This is a religion. All right, Bleeding Fool also brought us DC writer response to angry fans about Superman being killed off. And this is from 2 days ago. Jon Kent, the current bearer of the Superman mantle, has been subject to a lot of DC Comics press releases lately, including his sexuality and romance life. At the time, his father Kal-El just departed Earth with his new team, the Authority, for the treacherous and deadly War World, a planet-like space station populated by the world's worst warriors and criminals. In the midst of all this, DC has just changed Superman's iconic motto from Truth, Justice, and the American Way to Truth, Justice, and a Better Tomorrow, or crap, garbage, and boring ideas for a lazier written tomorrow. Demonstrating the publisher's more globalist approach, it comes to their new Man of Steel. With Jonathan Kent left to protect Earth while his father Clark goes on a mission to dethrone the terrifying Mongol, Warworld's alien tyrant, DC appears to be hinting at a more permanent upheaval in the Superman status quo. Fans of the classic characters have been not taking the news very well and are expressing their concerns. The publisher's current writer of Action Comics, Philip Kennedy Johnson, decided to respond on Twitter. Also, I've been hearing a lot of Superman fans who are scared by the recent speculation that Warworld is part of some shady backdoor corporate plan to replace Clark as Superman. To those fans, I don't know how to ease your words without spoiling what's coming, and I can't do that, but I love Clark Kent as much as you do. Keep reading, and I promise you, we won't betray you. Superman is forever. You can go fuck yourself, you hack. But did that really answer fans' questions? No. He didn't say, no, we're not killing Clark Kent. Or was it more of a trust me response that doesn't address their concerns? Yes. That being said, DC Comics' most recent solicit to the upcoming issues have verbiage that calls back to the last time Superman died, which indicates what Superman readers can expect, which I just read a minute ago. Sure sounds like DC's admitting they're about to kill Clark Kent. No, they'll either kill him or completely take his powers away, sideline him somehow. He'll be lost in space, and they'll do that until the very end. They're going to ruin DC because DC is already on a knife's edge, and they're trying to get shut down from the look of it. Sure sounds like DC's admitting they're about to kill Clark Kent Superman to me, since Doomsday's the villain who killed Kal-El back in 92-93 crossover, The Death and Return of Superman. Which, if you haven't read that, it's mostly good. I'm going to reread it here this year, and those reviews will be coming along eventually. But yeah, this response was just a vagary. It was a response to placate people without actually revealing anything. So I think they are going to kill him. Yeah, Clark's going to the Delta Quadrant. Exactly, Merle. Truth, justice, and you know the thing. The politicization of media is so obvious and ham-fisted now. They used to be subtle about this stuff, and now they just cannot stop themselves. Yeah, it's a death knell. It really is. DC is trying to go out of business, it looks like. And I blame a lot of this at Jim Lee's feet for not standing up for himself and for the others. He is letting this crap happen just to collect a paycheck, from what I can tell. And fuck him for that. He's made his money. He could go make comics all day long if he wanted to, but he doesn't. He's mostly retired from doing art, and he doesn't seem to give a shit about these characters at all. He is not stepping up as the so-called publisher and doing anything. Daniel Cherry is running the company into the ground with this woke shit that failed at Marvel nearly 10 years ago. I would say it's actually longer than what most people say, because I would attribute a lot of this woke shit starting really out in the open with Civil War over at Marvel, and it's been getting worse ever since. So I'm really tired of this crap. It's gone on way too long. Ghoulies is on Tubi. Nice. Death Metal was okay. Curse of the White Knight was better. I would actually flip those. Death Metal was okay, but Curse of the White Knight, I didn't like that one as much. Kryptonian Alzheimer's. Good one, Johnny. All right, for our final article, which is why I didn't do a stream on Wednesday, Diamond Alliance ransomware attack. The entire system for Diamond Alliance games, which are owned by the same company, and Steve Jeppy got hit with a ransomware attack, apparently. And it caused massive problems on the back end. The retailers were flipping out about this because final order cutoff fell in within this, and that's how you order your books. Now, of course, what they're going to do is just move the date back when the problem's resolved. But most people didn't really seem to understand that, because they're a bunch of high schoolers who have to get their panties all bunched up over every little thing. The older guys all knew what was going to go down. But yeah, hitting this is a weird one. What a waste of time. Diamond's failing, sadly, because the comics industry, mostly led by DC and Marvel, is on its way out. So I don't know what the fuck they thought they were going to get, like $2,000. What was your big ransom here? Diamond Comics distributor and Alliance Games distributor have partially recovered from the ransomware attack that hit them on Friday, taking down their website and disrupting operations. Both companies are shipping new releases this week, but delays may occur. Diamond and Alliance both have had their main websites back up. Diamond also has a special website for updates about the attack. Yesterday's update stated that Diamond Comics distributor products that were supposed to go on sale that day would be arriving in the next 2 to 4 days. Diamond is picking up and packing initial orders with his November 17th on sale date, and will update retailers early next week about any delays. Invoicing was planned for yesterday and today. The company estimates that it would begin picking reorders and Diamond Book Distributors orders on Friday or Saturday. Retailer Patrick Brinzendelson, I don't know, Minnesota's Source Comics and Games, told ICV2 that his comics had showed up on time on Monday. Then a member of his staff was putting in orders. Sterling Silver Comics of Carmelo, California, also tweeted that its comics arrived on time this week. One of my comic shops did not get their books on time. Diamond stated that the customer and financial information is not stored on the system that was attacked, so they believe it to be secure. I won't have that kind of faith. Alliance Game Distributors posted an update on its Facebook page today stating, "We have prioritized picking and shipping new releases. We are happy to report that all Magic pre-release product has been shipped and will be shipped in order to reach stores tomorrow." Other products that shipped from Alliance this week include Dragon Ball Super Unison Warriors, boosters, pre-release stuff, Crimson Vow, all that crap, and Fusion Strike. So, yeah, Alliance stuff largely unaffected. Diamond, however, did seem to have some hit and miss delays. Now, let's see if their website is back up and running. Oh, you son of a bitch. Hit the button. Go fuck yourself. All right, so we click over here on new releases. We go to next week. Nothing. This is where most people would get their info about what books are coming out next week. It's still down. So that's why I didn't do a show, because I didn't know what was coming out. And by the time I found out, it was late last night. So that's the reason my comics aren't coming in. Yep. Get pink kryptonite overdose and run off with his gay lover. Yeah, BG, Jonathan Kent's already got that. GT is better than Super. Oh, I don't know anything about that. So this is what's going on. The release schedule wasn't accurate either. So what was on here is more of a guesswork because they don't. Sometimes things get delayed, whatever. But their entire sites were down. Everything was locked up. But at least they've got this week's comic, or this current week's up, and they've got the catalog still up. But they don't have next week's books, so I couldn't do a show because DC would take me like 5 minutes because all this stuff's trash. There's like 3 books I'm gonna buy, which I probably shouldn't even be buying. So that's why there wasn't a Wednesday show, is because they got hit with ransomware. And it sounds like it's going to fuck them over pretty good. People are already losing faith in Diamond, and the big companies have already left them. So the discounts have gone down. Indie books really should start trying to figure out a new way to distribute their stuff. I think IDW did the right thing by going to Penguin. I like Diamond overall. I had good experiences with them when I was running my shop. Never had that many problems. Yeah, stuff would come in late sometimes, or stuff would get fucked up by UPS. But overall, having all your eggs in one basket like that is really, really dangerous. And we learned that during the COOF because everything got shut down, and they closed Diamond and said we're not paying anyone or shipping any of your product. So it fucked over a lot of these smaller press ones. Places like Action Lab are probably going to go out of business. Action Lab looks like it had some trouble anyway. But it's not looking good for some of these smaller indie companies. They're going to probably have to band together and figure something out. If they were smart, they would. Feast is on Tubi. Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's pretty fun. That's over the top good cheese. But that's what I had for you guys this week. Sorry about the a very, very long show. But let's round it out with some shameless whoring. Here's some sexy merchandise. And if you click on the nice pint glass, there's also a really sweet gator on here too, neck gator. Which I believe Evolved Potato is one of 2 people that bought that. But I'm waiting on, I got a couple of these coming in. I'm waiting on those. I got some stickers as well. The stickers came in. They were really nice, actually. I was really impressed with the quality. And I've got one of the t-shirts. I really like that quite a bit. Actually, probably going to get a couple more. I'm probably going to get a hoodie too, because there's a lot of stuff under this listing here. So you've got stickers. There's the die cut stickers, and the regular. This is a pouch. It comes in all these colors. The sweatshirts. It comes in these colors. They all look pretty cool. I think this one's probably my favorite, but it looks really good on blues because it makes the pink pop. And then you got mugs, because I'm a whore. I don't shill this stuff enough, in my opinion. Tote bag, because why not? The gear sticker. And then there's a lady's shirt. There's also the masks, of course. And then there's the character shirt sticker. There are some other stickers too. Where are the other stickers? Why are they not on here? Yeah, I bought some of these, but I got a couple of blue ones and some of the different colors. And it looks really good on all of them. The pink really comes out well. So if you don't want the die cut one, they got the regular stickers too. And you can get them in different sizes. I got some of the 3.6 by 5s. And these were too big, I thought. But I'm going to put them on my comic boxes. I think they look really cool. They're a little pricey, sure. But I don't really have a choice in that. I got everything as cheap as I could, which is way lower than a lot of people put their stuff at. It's like $20 for a t-shirt with a logo on it. Isn't that bad? A lot of people are putting these at like $30. I'm like, what are you doing? That's a fucking ripoff. It's getting hotter, and the mask mandate just finished, so might wear it next winter. Nice. Hope you like it. Yeah, Monkey took the night off. Good show. Thanks, Raymond. Glad you were here. Finished another mission on Ace Commander 7. Nice. All right, so that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. Thanks for the support. Thank you, God Ratty, for the donation. Much appreciated. And again, like, share, subscribe. You guys know the drill. Thanks for coming out, and hopefully we will see you on the next one. You guys do something amazing. Have a good